Now it's time to Kincade and Salciunas is on the air. Broadcasting live on the Fanatic app and YouTube channel. Here are your hosts, John Kincade and Andrew Salciunas. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Yes, we are your hosts. That's John Kincade. I'm Andrew Salciunas. It's a payday Friday, so we're already high-spirited. And it's day 2 of the NCAA tournament. Yesterday was fun, sitting back watching basketball all day, except for that, midday slot. Not midday like middays with Marks 10 to 2. Like that 3, 4 o'clock, it was just blowouts. It kind of sucked, except for the Duke-Siena game, which went down to the wire, which is just amazing, and that's why they call it March Madness, but Duke gets the win, and they advance. So everybody's brackets that had Duke winning the championship, you guys are still alive. Johnny, good morning, first and foremost.
Good morning to you. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing wonderful. We're all going to hang out today.
We are. We're going to have a great day today.
We're going to have a great day.
Have a great day today.
And yesterday, we got into a conversation about how we treat teams differently. Connor, you were surprised when I said, and John immediately agreed, that the Phillies get the least amount of criticism by fan bases. I understand that you do the Locked On Phillies podcast, so your algorithm is probably mainly Phillies.
Does he agree with that, though?
No, I don't think he did. You were kind of shocked by it.
No, but like you just brought up, I'm much more ingrained in that day-to-day. I can't avoid it. And I'm also very positive on the Phillies, so I get a lot of negative feedback.
Sure.
Correct.
People want to be negative because they know you as the positive guy, and they're like, well, let's get after Connor here. They're the team that have the most kids' glove out of any other team in the city. Right, and look, for good reason. The Sixers probably don't deserve kids' gloves, considering what has been going on the last couple of years. The Flyers are in a rebuild where there is mixed emotions about where they are at. You see it on social media every single day, John. But there's a lot more criticism.
By the way, I completely understand it because there is stuff to question about the rebuild.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they are, again, as I pointed out the other day, they are on track. In the third year of the rebuild, year 1 to year 2, year 1 to year 2 was an improvement of 12 points, and it appears that year 3 will eclipse year 2.
After 2 more last night,
That's what you want.
Which we'll talk about.
Huge win.
Big win, big back-to-back wins for the Flyers.
On the road trip that I thought could have sunk the season.
Instead,
it may have saved the season.
Yeah, it may have saved the season. But so we started talking about Philadelphia fans off the air. Johnny and I did. Look, we are all Philadelphia fans, but we all view things differently, right?
Yeah, we're different fans.
It's the beauty of sports talk, right? It's the beauty, and forget radio. I'm talking about sitting at the bar. Your best friend could look at sports completely differently, right? I enjoy hanging out with Connor, and sometimes I want to hit you over the head with your how do I put this? Positivity with the Phillies.
God forbid a guy roots for his team.
So do I. We root differently, and that's the beauty of fandom. Your best friends could look at sports completely differently than you. It's amazing. You get it. As everybody gets older in life, the core group of your friends, it's either the guys that you've known forever or it's the people that you probably have the most relationships with in terms of you see things the same way, whether it's politically or life-wise or just appreciation of being a parent or all that kind of stuff, right? That's kind of how we all get older. But sports doesn't matter. I don't think you become friends with somebody because you see sports the same way.
You can see, I think we're tribal in sports. We tend to congregate amongst the people that we choose to support and root for. But what we've seen is that I see the tribes far differently depending on what your age group is here. How things are. Because I think you guys as fans are completely different fans. You two are different. You're relatively the exact same age.
Yes.
But you guys are completely different fans.
It's because I'm wiser than Connor. I'm a little older.
Than I am. And the fans that I grew up with don't resemble you guys at all. And our parents don't resemble us at all. So it's there's an evolution of a fan base. And in some ways better, some ways worse. But I actually think we're like Sybil now. Which, if you don't know the novel Sybil, she was the first person that was documented with the split personality disorder. I think now as a fan base of this city, we're no longer Philly fans. You have to be identified by each different fan base because we got like split personality.
And it's amazing. You said that yesterday. So when we do our little promo that we do after the show and then it airs throughout the day, teasing what we're going to do the next day. And when you said that, I was like, dude, you're right. Like, John's right. The whole term of Philadelphia fans.
It doesn't apply.
It's the umbrella. You all remember the umbrella when you used to write papers in high school, right? It was the umbrella, but then there's multiple different paragraphs.
We are fans of Philadelphia teams, all of us. But that's just as you say, it's like the umbrella, the tent that we're all under. But the fan bases are completely different to me. It's like they're foreign. It's like they speak foreign languages. Like I don't even resemble them. Some of them, I can't even understand how one is like the other. Like they're from the same city, and it's happened in our lifetime because it's not something that I understand or really even grasp how it happened.
And this isn't about level of passion, right? Like, let's face it. This is a football city first, right? I don't think anybody's debating that. You listening might say, no, I like the Phillies more. But if you were to break it down and you ask the majority of Philadelphia fans who your favorite team in town is, they would probably say the Eagles. I really do believe this is a baseball city second. Like, I really believe it.
It is a baseball city second. There are people I've heard arguments.
Yeah.
I've heard people say, this is a basketball city second, and I laugh.
No, it is a baseball city
They're
second.
out of their mind.
However, Jimmy Rollins wasn't wrong, right? Like, it's a baseball city when things are going well. We're not a baseball city that's going to show up. And you know what? I don't blame anybody when they're not in the playoffs for 10 straight years. You might make a trip to the ballpark every once in a while, but you're not sitting there every single night watching Tommy Joseph play first base because why waste your time?
I am a devout capitalist, and I do not blame anybody for how they spend their money if the product sucks.
Yeah.
Now, if the product sucks, I do not blame you for not supporting the product until it gets better.
Yeah. And so Jimmy Rollins wasn't wrong. But whether it's your passion or your feelings or your love of different teams, we all look at things differently, and we're trying to figure out why. Like, what changed over the years, to John's point, that it's like, all right, I look at this team one way, I look at this team another way, and I don't know if this changes every other year. Is this something that changes over a span of 5 years? Like, the Eagles are the team that won the most recently.
Like when you went to just to give you an example to put this in a framework, your father, Big Al, would be able to relate to this. My brother and your dad are the same age. They would be able to relate to this. I think anybody above the age of like 45, 40 would be able to relate to this. When you went to an Eagles game, it was the same people in the stands that went to a Phillies game. The crowd sounded the same, talked the same, had the same energy.
Sure.
I can tell you, the crowd at the Vet, they rode Ron Jaworski terribly, terribly. That same crowd, those same guys, rode Mike Schmidt
right,
relentlessly. And Larry Bowa, I'm sure has told, you've heard Larry Bowa tell the stories.
Yeah.
Larry Bowa will tell you the stories about this town and how hard it is and everything.
Sometimes they enjoyed playing on the road.
Right.
Like, he has said that publicly.
No Phillies fan, no Philly says that now. The Philly crowd is nothing like the Phillies crowd that I grew up with.
Right.
Now, I'm not sure it wasn't that godforsaken building.
Could be.
That had something to do with it. It was a dump. It was our dump, but it was a dump. But I'm not sure that didn't have something to do with it.
It was very Coliseum-like.
But it
right?
was, and I'm telling you.
It was very much like a Coliseum.
But the point I'm making, though, is if you sat in Section 312 for an Eagles game and you sat in Section 312 for a Phillies game, the crowd was the same.
Right.
There was the same level of angst and anger and vitriol and everything. You go to a Phillies game, I honestly think going to a Phillies game is like going to Disney.
Well, during the regular season, because you and I talked about this on post-show headlines. Check it out. Every single day we do it.
That.
Go to 97.5 The Fanatic's YouTube page, and there is a post-show headlines channel. We do it every single day, 10 minutes, 5 topics apiece, 2 minutes apiece. Get the hell out of there. That's what I say every episode. We talked about sort of the energy at Citizens Bank Park. It wasn't that long ago where Jeff Passan called it an SEC-like atmosphere during a baseball game. He had never seen something like that.
I'm telling you, Red October, as they were tagging it, it was like that. 22 and 23, it was like that.
Brian Snicker, 4 hours of hell, or I think it was a coach of the Braves.
No, it was Brian Snicker.
It was.
Snicker told me that personally.
Right. 4 hours of hell.
Bad.
So it's still there. Like, it's not like you go to a Phillies game and you're expecting to be, like, sitting there calmly. But maybe during June, July, August, you will, because this kind of goes back to where we're at with this team. It's all about the postseason now. So you go to a ballpark, you go to the ball game in July, you're hoping they win. You're happy when they win. But if they lose, it's kind of like, yeah, well, they're going to win 90 games. They're going to get to the playoffs anyway. We're at that point with the Phillies. That might be why it's different during the summer in this current era.
It could get there. I mean, that very well could be the case. I mean, that very well might be what we're talking about there and why that is that case. It's the idea, though, is that there's a difference in, look, the Phillies had a lot of success. There was a lot of success. Like when I was a kid, I was a young kid. I saw the Phillies have a lot of success. Thanks, Larry Boa. Thanks, Mike Schmidt. Thanks, Steve Carlton. I saw them have a lot of success. It didn't please our fathers enough.
No, it did not.
It was angry. It was loud. And even after they won a World Series, it didn't matter.
Mike Schmidt hit over 500 home runs in his career, and they only happened when they were down by 10 runs.
Oh, you listen to anybody tell you? Or solo.
Or they were solo home runs. Yeah. They were never clutch. I've heard these stories.
You hear the stories. And the thing is, though, the difference, and it's something like you point out, is that, over the years, is that the Eagles have sort of changed the narrative by winning so big.
Yes.
But even when the Phillies won in 80, it didn't change the fan base. Winning that World Series that I saw my father, World War II vet, prisoner of war, like I saw him cry. I saw my father weep.
Yeah.
Like a baby. And that the Phillies had finally won. They were his number one team. Baseball was his number one thing. But it didn't change the fan base. I mean, the fan base was the same the next year.
Look, a lot of it's societal. I think we all
has
know
evolved.
That. Like, and for better in certain reasons.
Oh, no. And a lot, but believe me, it's a lot better. The experience of going to a game is a lot better.
But then I'll question, like, why we gave a standing ovation to a guy that hurt your team, right? The Jose Alvarado's suspension, ineligible for the playoffs, him getting the standing ovation, I disagreed with it at the time, and then the amount of people that attacked me on social media for disagreeing with it, I was wondering, like, all right, this guy hurt your team. Since when are we celebrating that? You had an interesting conversation with E-Rock, who's one of the bigger Eagles fans that we know, right? He's a big content guy, does great work. I every time I get to see him with the Philly Sports Strip stuff,
it's always fun.
Love talking to him. He's a great dude. And he said something interesting to you about the A.J. Brown situation.
E-Rock is of a different ilk, like I am. And E-Rock said, flat out, was responding, and we were going back and forth, and he was just saying to me, and he's like, who are these people, like, with the A.J. Brown situation? He said that, first of all, that believe it's all fake. That was what we were talking about first. And then he's like, when did we as a fan base start accepting mailing it in the playoffs?
It's a great question.
When did we as a fan base stop demanding effort or start excusing that a guy's pissed about the offensive coordinator or pissed about something so he doesn't give full effort? And we actually back that player, because I refuse to. I think it sucks. I absolutely refuse to support that, accept that, acknowledge that as anything but unacceptable. And I hear people every day be like, oh, but we got to have him back. Got to have him back. Can't wait to have him back. Even as he posts the latest thing about wanting to desperately be a New England Patriot. It disgusts me, because I'm like, that isn't us as a fan base.
It is weird. Like,
that's not us as a fan base.
Hey, hand raised, I want him back, right?
Yeah, the thing is, though,
it's crazy.
What in the world happened?
Right.
What in the world happened that people are willing to accept half-ass efforts, half-ass dedication? That it's not this DNA.
Theory.
Yeah, what is it?
Is the tinfoil in there?
What is it?
I didn't bring it.
Damn
I'm
it!
sorry.
It's a tinfoil Friday, dude. Like,
what
I
is
needed
it?
you.
You'll have to protect your brain with something else.
Theory. We know more than we used to. Yes.
Okay, expand more.
Everything's on social media. Everybody talks. Reporters, content people that just know players now, right? Players seem to be more out and about and maybe talk about certain things. I don't know. It's not like the old days where the Phillies players would go to the bars and maybe complain. Nobody could go to the phone and say, oh, I heard this. We know so much more now. Information is out there left and right that I think anybody that watched the Eagles and follows the Eagles intently, right? I'm not talking about some guy in California. I'm talking about us.
Okay.
We follow the Eagles so intently that we go, yeah, you know what? That offensive coordinator does suck.
Okay, no, the thing is, though, I'm going to ask you this.
And
this
Ryan
is,
Fitzpatrick's talking about
This is where this all falls apart.
All right.
You think Saquon Barkley's smart?
Yes, I think
You think he thinks the offensive coordinator sucked?
Yeah.
Lane Johnson, I could tell from that interview the other day with Fitz and Hugh, whatever it was, that he thinks the offensive coordinator sucked.
Ryan Fitzpatrick and Whitworth.
Exactly, Whitworth. Fitz and Whit. I can tell you right now that
Hugh in the city.
I guarantee you. Yeah, we love Hugh. Hugh listens every morning. I could tell you that Devontae Smith.
This is gonna be their lead today.
I could tell you that Devontae Smith thinks the offensive coordinator sucked last year. You know what we're not talking about? We're not talking about any one of them.
Sure.
That their effort was questioned, that their energy was questioned. But somehow we're so thirsty to have the love of somebody that we excuse it. We excuse half-ass effort. That is where this fan base has changed. And you know what? I do believe it's changed with your age group and your fan base.
Or MBD, tinfoil cap theory. Actually, this might not be tinfoilish. All right, MBD might be onto something on our YouTube chat. You can always
What's that?
You can be a part of the conversation either by texting the Davis Honda text line. You can call in 610-632-0975, same number, or you can comment on our YouTube feed if you want to watch the show live. MBD goes, maybe some people are so married to the narrative that the quarterback is terrible that they refuse to hold anybody else accountable. Reading a book on the sideline during a 14-game winning streak, every social media post, sideline blow-ups, not finishing routes is all excused because he's talking about a specific group of people, blame the quarterback.
I think that NBD, I always say it, I think I've said it before, NBD is one of the smartest people who interacts with us. I think that there are people that absolutely...
It's a I want to be right society,
they're falling to that camp. It's so ridiculous.
Sports has become politics for a lot of people, where it's bury your feet in the ground, I'm right, you're wrong.
This is my stance.
And if you're an anti-Jalen guy, you blame Jalen for everything. If you're an anti-Sirianni guy, you blame Sirianni for everything.
But to that talking point, then Saquon, then Mailata, then Lane Johnson, then Devontae Smith. So they're not in that camp?
You're trying to put logic into an emotional conversation.
No, what I'm trying, I am, because you know what though is that you know me. What do you call me? You call me Logical John.
Well, you wear many hats.
I cannot take logic out of it.
Yeah, you can't.
I can't take logic out of it because if I'm having a conversation with somebody and they try to just twist everything and just be like, but, and I'm like, okay, can we talk logically here? No, but I'm like, I need logic. I need to discuss things logically.
But there's a way to do it with everything, right? Statistics can change talking points, or I could blame everybody other than Joel Embiid for the Sixers never winning a championship, right? Like, I could do that. I'm not going to do that, but I could do that. I could blame Elton Brand. I could blame Daryl Morey. I could blame Tobias Harris. Did
they shove the Chick-fil-A and the Shirley Temples down his throat?
I could ignore that if it's my agenda.
Yeah, but
and we are an agenda-driven society.
Yeah, but ignoring it doesn't mean though that's not being logical. You can't be logical and ignore it. Logic means you have to confront the facts.
You're logical. Everybody is logical.
But logic has to confront facts. So it's like you got to confront the facts. There are people that are this. There's people that are just like this. A.J. Brown stories I've told you before. I just can't do it anymore.
You want to know how sports sometimes doesn't involve logic? What did we do in the air yesterday?
What, the bracket?
Yes. Did you watch St. Louis at all this year, Connor?
No. But I like the Billikens.
But you picked them, and did they win yesterday?
Damn right they did.
They did. There was no logic.
So did
there was
TCU.
no logic behind
there was.
it. Right?
There
Fogged up, baby.
Like sports. Sometimes sports doesn't need to be logical for people, John. You look at it that way.
No, but I mean, you're talking about the outcome of a game. I'm talking about this is the actual behavior of human beings. This is the actual this city at some point devolved into a split personality of, like the Sixers. I believe the Sixers, the way the fan base is now, was created by the Sixers deciding to become losers. I think they changed the fan base.
Yeah, but you think humans are at base level logical all the time?
No.
We do so much stuff emotionally.
No.
Probably more than we do it logically.
I think the most we do logically.
Ooh, I disagree.
You do think, Connor, you're going to do 10,000 things a day that you don't even think of.
Yeah, but I think
that you just do because your logical brain just takes you to do things the smart thing to do.
I'm going to mess with Connor again. Start thinking about your breathing.
Don't do that.
No, you can't get me. I'm too smart for that one. But the thing is, I think when push comes to shove, there are a lot of people that make most of their decisions based on heart and not head.
I think there are many people that do that, correct. I think there are a lot of people.
That's not like restricted from your sports fandom. Yeah.
All right. Sixers and Flyers as well, by the way. Big wins for both them. Coming up next, we got to talk about it because we are at a point right now, Johnny, with those two winter teams where I wonder if people can sign up for something.
Where do I sign up? What website?
We could create one.
Okay.
GoDaddy.com.
There we go.
Watch the old commercials, and then we'll
the Danica Patrick ones? When she was supposedly dating Aaron Rodgers?
No, that was before, man.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about our different relationships with teams right now.
Right.
Let's answer that question. Why do you react differently to different teams? 610-632-0975. Can you sign up for a whatever happens pact with the two winter teams? We'll discuss that coming up next. It is Kincade and Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Two Kings takedowns. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Sixers and Flyers both found wins over the Kings yesterday. Of course, they didn't play the same teams, but they did find big-time victories as their postseason push continues. It was a great day here with the Flyers winning 4-3 via the shootout for their fifth victory in the last 6 games. Here's how it sounded right here on 97 or over on WMMR.
In his career, Matvei Michkov has been good in the shootouts. He'll cut in for the right circle, goes in front, took the shot, he scores! And the Flyers beat the Kings for their 6th straight road win.
It's a big win for them with the postseason right around the corner and them trying to find their way in. They seem to be heating up at the right time. The Sixers beat their Kings 139-118 behind a monster night from B.J. Edgecombe. The Sixers rook had 38 in the W. They play the Jazz tomorrow night. The Eagles made a couple of additions yesterday, signing running back Damian Pearson, tight end Stone Smart, adding some depth to the offense. And the first day of the tourney was madness. High Point knocks off Wisconsin. VCU upsetting UNC. Texas coming out of the play-in games to beat BYU. Unfortunately, in local news, Penn lost to Illinois. We'll talk to Andrew DeCecco coming up at 8:05 for his thoughts on the latest Eagles moves. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Kincade Salciunas, Philly Sports Talk, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
This hour of Kincade Salciunas is presented by Bradford White Water Heaters. Bradford White, they're here for the pro.
Thank you, Bradford White. It is 6:30 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic on this Payday Friday. Love it. A response on our YouTube feed when we were today's topic, in case you're just tuning in, why we have different relationships with different teams, what's changed us, all that kind of stuff, because we talked about, if you look at it surface level, why should we excuse A.J. Brown for some of the actions last year, including on the field, right? When did effort, lack of effort, and quitting and stuff like that, when did that in any way become acceptable? And in case anybody's going, well, that's your opinion. No, it's not. Jason Kelce. Yeah, is Jason Kelce lying? Jason Kelce went on a radio show and said that his emotions got the best of him, that it allowed to carry on to the field. It impacted his play. And I remember going on a rant saying, you guys all agree with Jason Kelce, but when we say it, we're a-holes. And are your eyes lying to you? Because if your eyes didn't see it, then you don't know football. It's flat out. If you didn't listen to the game and watch the broadcasters tell you, he stopped running. He didn't extend. Right. He wasn't giving his full effort, flat out. And I don't care how pissed he was about something. Every one of you, there is somebody in the car right now. There's somebody at their desk. There's somebody on the app. There's somebody shaving that is getting ready to go to work today that doesn't like their boss, doesn't like their job, feels they're underappreciated, whatever it is. I told you all this in self-confidence. I'm sorry about that. Sorry, Scott, if you heard that segment. But look, and you know what they do? They put their big boy pants on, and they go to work. And if they're part of a team, they go to work, and they do their best because they're part of a team. So I don't want to hear any of that crap. I just don't want to hear it. And I'm glad, that there is a level of acceptability that is somehow, though, being excused that shocks me. And it shocked me with the Alvarado suspension last year. That was crazy. And when he returned, the standing ovation. It was crazy. And I go, you guys realize he's not going to be able to pitch in the playoffs, and then Matt Strom's going to give up a 3-run home run to Teoscar Hernandez, right? Well, and then the weird thing is that you didn't exactly say those words. But it ended up. I did. No, you didn't say exactly those words. But those words came to fruition. Yeah, exactly. So you warned us. John on our YouTube chat, not John Kincade, says, what's up, John? It is easy to rationalize wanting A.J. Brown back with everything that we've talked about, right? With everything that he's done. He said, because we are scared from door number 2. Okay, now that is Aguilar, Thrash, Pinkston, Arcega-Whiteside, with the umbrella. Right now, we don't. Right now, we already have 2 guys on the roster that are better than the guys he's mentioning. Plus, Dallas got it. So I understand his point, though. I'm not devaluing his point of view that could be part of me behind it. Right, because it's not that long ago, right? Right, it's not. But we already have 2 guys on the roster that are better than those guys right now. So that's where I just say that sort of falls apart. Okay. All right, so that's one talking point. Why do we have different relationships with different teams? John said it to me off the air yesterday. It's spot on. We used to be Philly fans. Now it's Eagles fans. Look. Now, do you feel in your lifetime you've lived through that, though? Do you guys feel that way? I look at them as separate entities. See, now, and that's the weird thing is that, and I wonder if guys my age, and if I would say 40 and above, if they feel like I do, that when you went into the vet, when you went into the for a Phillies game, for an Eagles game, whatever, it was the same crowd. It was the same thing. It wasn't this. I guarantee you this. Maybe it was that dreadful building, but it wasn't a family atmosphere. But it wasn't a family atmosphere. We've talked about this. Like, the Eagles could win a Super Bowl, and the next day, if the Sixers had a bad loss, I'll be upset with the Sixers. Like, I'm not going to be like, it's all good. The Eagles won the Super Bowl yesterday. Like, yeah. I will point out, well, yeah, the Eagles won. And so when I'm talking about the Eagles, my energy is one way. I'm not going to let that team off the hook. I think sometimes there's a lot of letting off the hook in this city because of other good teams. Like, don't worry about the Sixers and Flyers. We have the Eagles and Phillies. Now, speaking of the Sixers and Flyers, question for you guys. Can we get people to sign up for a whatever happens pact the rest of the way? Because right now, if you are looking to find the terms, as we are doing the daily Flyers standings check after a big win last night, let's hear how it sounded on our sister station, MMR. We'll start with the goal. Here was Zegras giving the Flyers the initial lead in the shootout. All right. No, what do we have?
We have the save and the final goal.
All right. Here's the save by Urson.
He's got it at center ice. Panarin looking to tie it in the shootout. Wide left circle, cut back into the middle, took the shot, glove, saved by Urson. And the Flyers can win it with a goal right here.
And he put a little stank on it.
Damn right
he
did.
put a little stank on it when he made the save.
And then because Zegras made it 1-0 early, then the save by Urson. Here's Matvey.
In his career, Matvey Michkov has been good in the shootouts. He'll cut in from the right circle, goes in front, took the shot, he scores! And the Flyers beat the Kings for their 6th straight road win.
Listen to the crowd in L.A.
Yeah, it was loud.
By the way, it was crazy because the other night in Anaheim, same thing. There must be so many Philly fans that either made the trip or whatever. It was loud. It was loud last night. It was great. That is awesome. But 6 straight road wins, that's wild. Like, this team is much better on the road than they are at home. And I said to you this morning, that's sort of maddening to me because they're so close to making the playoffs. They're so close. And it's going to maybe keep them from making the playoffs is the fact that they didn't play better at home.
Yeah, could be. Not only do you have that win over the Kings, how about double Kings victories?
What?
Sixers beat Sacramento last night.
How's that happen?
VJ Edgecombe, 38 points, career high for the Rook. Justin Edwards. It's amazing how it took like 17 guys getting hurt. Remember, we could not part ways with Justin Edwards last year, and then all of a sudden Nick Nurse said, I can't play him for whatever reason. He's been playing a lot of good basketball recently. Quentin Grimes, another good night last night. Sixers get the win. Sixers now just a game and a half out of a non-play-in seed,
which we got to get to the 6th seed to get the week off,
right? Because that's what they need,
and to avoid the play-in tournament.
So, can we sign a pact where it's whatever happens?
Not with the Sixers. I'm not signing. So you would pick one team, it being the Flyers. Yeah, the Flyers is because
the
because the Flyers. I told you in the beginning, you should not have expected this Flyers roster to make the playoffs. So if they push for the playoffs or somehow sneak in, it is gravy. The Sixers, I'm not signing up for anything but a top 6 seed. If they avoid the play-in tournament, then they will get a clap from me for everything they've overcome. This team should be good enough to avoid a play-in tournament, even with everything they've faced injury-wise.
Right.
So I'm not signing up for anything.
As long as they come back, because we're still doing the weird, Embiid, is he going to play? Is he going to play? No, he's not going to play.
I'm not signing up for anything with the Sixers.
Well, good news is, Johnny, Connor Thomas must have read your mind. Connor Thomas thinking sorry.
What are you thinking, Connor?
Dr. Avidan Appel helped you think a little bit this morning. Iron Mountain Men's Health. Strong polls, 4 hours in the morning, 4 hours in the afternoon. Connor, what is today's poll that you can find on 97.5, the Fanatic's Twitter account?
Yeah, this poll has got some extra depth to it today because I figured there are going to be people, like John just said, who might pick different teams on this. Are you willing to sign up for a whatever happens pact with the rest of the Sixers and Flyers seasons where you can watch what plays out without expectations? There are 4 options, not just yes and no, but also yes, just Sixers, and yes, just Flyers.
Excellent work. Excellent work defining that.
36% of responders are just flat out saying yes. 32% are just flat out saying no. 27% are saying yes, just Flyers. And only 5% are saying yes, just Sixers. So, John, you're not alone.
Yeah, I don't understand how the Sixers could get that kind of
The Sixers should not get the just Sixers. They really shouldn't. If you want to say yes for both, because that's what I voted, then sure. You can't say yes, just Sixers, because the Flyers deserve your grace, right?
They deserve the grace.
Even though I know a lot of people don't want to hear that because they think that they should be at a certain point at this point in the rebuild. I understand. But the player, and look, we're talking about the players. We're not talking about... I'm not talking about Daryl Morey. He can't do anything. Daryl Morey can't do anything. Keith Jones can't do anything right now. The trade deadlines are done. You're not signing anybody. Hey. Like, it's the product on the court, the product on the ice.
Daryl Morey's already done the damage. He's already done his damage. I don't want Daryl Morey doing any more. He's already done enough.
But Jared McCain, he only scored 26.
Yeah, exactly. You see why the Sixers can't get it is because of Daryl Morey. Because if Daryl Morey had just kept Jared McCain, there's no question in my mind you're not playing. This team would not be worrying about avoiding the play-in tournament. And that's all I would ask, is that just the stupidity of that. It's sheer stupidity right now. They actually have graphics now on NBA TV. They have a Jared McCain graphic now on NBA TV where they're they're a punchline. They're a national punchline. And I hate that. I hated it during the process. I hate it when my team is being punchlined, made fun of. It just bothers me. Just like it grates on me. And the Sixers do it over and over
But you know what's
again.
crazy? With all that being said, and you're not wrong, right? The Sixers,
Okay.
This is why the Sixers have created so many weird mindsets in sports in Philadelphia, if you follow the Sixers.
Sure.
Our buddy Bob Cooney put out a tweet at 12:30 this morning after the Sixers beat the Kings last night. Just going to put this out there for shoots and giggles.
Uh-huh.
Sixers enter the playoffs starting, as long as everybody's healthy, Embiid, George, Maxey, Edgecombe, and Oubre.
Which I like on paper.
Right. Grimes coming off the bench as your first guard. You got your Drummond Bona backup. Justin Edwards, the way he's being playing, backup forward. Are you good with that? Does that win a round?
On paper.
It does.
Whoa.
On paper, it does.
Does it win a round? Who are they playing?
Yeah, that's a big question.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, and Bob, is Bob's forgotten more basketball than I know. So I will respect his opinion on that. But I don't know what he's saying. He's asking the question. It depends on who you're playing.
Yeah, sure.
Because I've seen the Sixers healthy going into the playoffs and not win a round. So, I mean, that could easily happen. But I'm optimistic if for some reason they were healthy. But they got to avoid the play-in tournament. I think it's mission critical.
Right now, Sixers are just a half game back of the Atlanta Hawks for the sixth seed. They've won 11 straight.
Here's what I'm thinking. That's got to come down. The Hawks aren't that good.
I'm not even just looking at them. They're 2 back at the Raptors, who are the 5 seed. So maybe the Hawks jump Toronto.
And then you catch it that way.
Toronto's always been up for grabs. They've always been up for grabs, even when the Sixers were healthy. And then they shockingly got hurt.
We could make them the 51st state and just call it our spot. Let's do it. Let's take it. Take the spot from them.
Oh, the standings.
Take the spot from them. Yes.
All right.
We'll
Coming
take
up next, we will check our text line for the first time this morning. Also, day one is in the books. We'll get into that coming up next. Kincade Salciunas 97.5, The Fanatic. Day one, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the NCAA tournament. And just because day one is in the books doesn't mean you can't use that FanDuel Sportsbook app heavily today on day two. FanDuel, in partnership with Valley Forge, is offering an early win on your pre-live moneyline bets for college basketball when your team goes up 10 points, and it stays a win no matter how the game ends. So if you use that bet on UNC, you won your money. If you bet UNC to win the game, you did not, because a 19-point lead is not good enough for some teams. Anyways, win or lose, if your team takes a lead of 10 or more points, that's a win for you. Don't forget, with FanDuel, you get paid instantly when you win. So just visit FanDuel.com/local to get started. That's FanDuel.com/local. Bet the bracket with FanDuel. You got to be 21 plus. Present Pennsylvania opt-in required. Tokens are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including token expiration, market requirements, and max wager amounts. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Charity comes in many forms. Kincade Salciunas is back from the break. I wonder what they're going to get into.
It is 6:47 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic. Day one in the books. We will sort of recap day one of the NCAA tournament. Day two, obviously today in the noon hour. Make sure if you're looking for a place to hang out on this Friday, you can go to Johnny's spot in Ben Salem and hang out with John and Sean.
Yeah, and I'll be there too.
Oh, are you?
I'll be there enjoying it today, this afternoon. So I'll be there for the early games today, hanging out at the beautiful Parks Casino. Looking forward to that.
Yep.
So hanging out, watching some basketball and everything like that. And Christina said to play some cards too. So
I mean, why not? While you're there, you might as well.
When your wife tells you to play some cards,
you say yes.
You say, I have a good wife.
Yeah,
I have a very good wife.
Yes, you do. So, all right, so Connor, let's check out the Davis Honda text line. Feel the Davis difference on Davis Honda in Burlington. We've been talking about us, Philadelphia fans. You know, how things have changed, why we are easier to forgive these days, which is beautiful within its own right. But at the same time, it's like, whoa, what changed that? Like, when was that? When, like that it changed? Is it because the Eagles won a Super Bowl? Why? And do you look at the different teams separately? Like, do you fan differently for each team? What do we got?
Yeah, so we have a bunch of different avenues to take this conversation that people are checking in on. Trevor checks in, says, is it surprising that the fan base has gotten softer? The whole world has gotten softer and it's bled into sports. Do I agree with it? No. But is it surprising to me? Also, no.
I
think society's a big part.
You know what's funny is Trevor. That's Trevor. Trevor's logical. Because that's really that's this logic smacking me in the face. That's logical. He's a very logical man. That's a logical comment. The world's gotten. That's the way the world's gotten. It's just the way it is. It's just as you point out, in some ways it's a really, really good thing because the vet was a disgusting place.
Yeah,
and portions of the way that the fan base used to conduct itself, portions of it have corrected itself to a much better way of doing things. But in some ways, not better.
Theory.
Yeah.
Another one. Tinfoil cap. Have we shifted from being more pro-player and, well, not anti-organization, like you don't like it, but like you get angry at the organization more than the players these days?
This city was always like that.
Well,
this city was always anti-organization, always anti-union. I mean, I'm always pro-union, always pro.
Yeah, but you talked about how Mike Schmidt, who was a Hall of Famer,
that doesn't.
But today, if a guy hits. Like, Kyle Schwarber never has to buy a beer, and he hasn't won anything, right? It's just because he had a really good season.
We celebrate things.
That's what I'm saying. Like, have we become more, like, pro-player? We've always been pro-player, you're right. But, like, Bryce Harper could do no wrong. But damn it, the Phillies can.
Yeah.
Even though he's part of the Phillies' problem.
Like, we guys get a level of grace here for accomplishment that it's as if they – and guys who actually have accomplished something don't. Like that and I'll never figure it out.
Yeah, well, I think part of it is the social media and accessibility that you get. I could tell you how Bryce Harper takes his coffee.
Right.
I could tell you what the guy's diet is, what he's done in the offseason health-wise, everything about him from the second he gets a new haircut to when he steps on the field with the Philadelphia Phillies, which is different when you didn't have the social media coverage. And when you get that type of access to players, naturally, I think you feel more connected to them, which makes it tougher to root against them when you know more about them.
Again, you're very bright, Connor. It's obviously that is true. It's much more appealing though to you and to your age group than it is to me.
Did people care when...
I don't give a damn. I honestly don't care. Like, I don't care how Bryce Harper makes his coffee. Like, I find so much of it very self-serving.
But there are people that feel like, oh, I can relate to this because I can see it, and I also drink coffee.
Because you make your coffee the same way?
Yeah. People go, oh, wow, they're humans too.
Ball players, just like us.
I always thought Larry Bowa made his coffee. Like I was I always thought, like if you're talking about,
you think he was a Maxwell House guy or a Folgers?
I always thought Ricky Bowe and them, they made their coffee. I always thought I never got that. Like I just don't get it. I don't get that. I love seeing. I always enjoy seeing a happy moment, like the family moment. I do enjoy that.
Well, I was going to ask you.
I do enjoy
when
the
Embiid
family.
brings Arthur on the court. I love it.
No, I told you.
I think it's like I'm a sucker for it. Like, I think it's beautiful.
Well, you know that.
But did people love that 30 years ago? Did people care?
But we didn't see it the way. We didn't see it the same way.
Right, and that goes to the relatability
No,
thing.
I remember.
When Mekhi Becton is dropping the confetti on his son, I was weeping like a child when I watched that video with the confetti falling. He's got tears coming out of his eyes. NFL Network always finds a way to put the sappy music in the background that pulls at your heartstrings. And there he is dropping the confetti on his son. And I'm like, oh, my God, I love this. This is beautiful.
I get you. Like
you didn't get that 30 years ago.
We did. Yeah, we didn't. And when we did get it, like our like Ruben Amaro Jr. back in the day, Ruben Amaro Jr. was a bat boy.
Yes.
Ruben and I are the exact same age, exact same high school year, everything like that. He was a bat boy.
Yeah.
Back when they won, and but it was a story. But you read a story read a story in the paper, and then you would see Amaro Jr. on his back.
Right.
And
ESPN didn't do a 5-minute special on it on a Saturday morning.
It wasn't the same. Yeah, it wasn't the same.
All right. Day one NCAA tournament in the books. Team Kincade Salciunas, Connor, we need to step it up. Not a horrible day one of our bracket, but we're behind. So
we're behind.
We need to have some talks with the teams that they took today.
Okay.
Right now we are tied for 8th place out of 14 teams. There's a lot of 8th place teams, a lot of 2nd place teams. Matt Menard always cooking the books because it's always his brackets. It's always his fantasy football league. Somehow he's in first place. He's always cooking the books. He's in first place. We got to step it up today.
Okay.
Now the good news
did
is
we lose? Where'd we miss?
So here's where we lost. Southern Florida lost yesterday. South Florida yesterday.
South Florida terrible.
I took the Tar Heels.
But if you didn't pick that loss, then I'm going to tell you, we picked the right way.
Yeah,
we just didn't.
If the Tar Heels could hold on to a 19-point lead, the Tar Heels advance. But they didn't.
They didn't.
They couldn't hold on to a 19-point lead. I'm sorry, I went with the St. Mary's route. Texas A&M got the win.
Yeah, but that wasn't terrible. We weren't complaining on that.
High Point took care of business.
Yeah, that you can't fault anyone there.
But now here's the good thing: of the losses in our bracket, we only have one that went to a second round.
That's why I thought we had
so we're chilling.
I don't think we had a bad day at all.
It wasn't a bad day.
No, it wasn't a bad day.
You bet with your heart. You bet with your heart with the BYU. The second one.
Well, we'll see.
Because you had them go. Well, they lost.
We'll see.
No, I understand.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's that I didn't bet with my heart there. I thought they're going to win the first game, and I thought they're going to win the second game.
Well, you did say it was a sign.
Yeah, and I did think it was a sign.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's the only one though. Other than that, we didn't have any losses that we had a team going to the Elite 8, Final 4.
No, we did well.
So we got some.
We did well.
But we got some work to do today.
Boys. We got to get some.
So all those picks of mine you hated yesterday.
Yeah, I'm going to call Akron now and say, I need you. Yeah, I need you to step up here.
Come on, Akron.
There's some teams that we need to step up. All right, coming up next, start the 7 o'clock hour with A.J. Brown talk. A.J. Brown.
Yeah, what's he got?
There was just a little update on the A.J. Brown front that nobody's going to want to hear, but we will play it for you anyway. And then, if you like to read social media, is somebody starting a bit or do they know more? A lot of retweets going on about A.J. Brown to New England.
Some of them from his camp.
We'll get into that coming up next. We'll reset today's topic. Also, we will tell you how you can earn a spot in Knockout today. You actually have to work today. Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Couple of big wins. I'm Connor Thomas, and it was a great sports day here in Philly yesterday. It's both the Sixers and Flyers took down the Kings last night. The Flyers won 4-3 via the shootout for their 5th victory in the last 6 games over the Los Angeles Kings, and they seem to be heating up at the right time. They'll play the Sharks tomorrow at 4 p.m. The Sixers took down the Sacramento Kings 139-118 behind a monster night from VJ Edgecombe.
Outside right, Edgecombe for 3 and a new career high 36 points. VJ Edgecombe with his 3rd 3. The Sixers 15 of 30 from beyond.
Great call by Tom McGinnis right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Edgecombe ended with 38 points, a career high. They play the Jazz tomorrow night. Eagles made a couple of additions yesterday in free agency, signing running back Damian Pierce and tight end Stone Smart, adding some depth there to the offense. And the first day of the tournament was madness. Some big-time upsets like High Point knocking off Wisconsin, VCU beating UNC, and Texas out of the play-in game to knocking off BYU. Unfortunately, locally, Penn lost to Illinois. Andrew DeCecco joins us coming up at 8:05 to break down the latest Eagles moves. This update is brought to you by TireRack.com. Rain or shine, drive with confidence on Verdestin Tires from Tire Rack. Verdestin Tires deliver precision handling, dependable traction, and quiet comfort. Ship fast and free with 2 years of free road hazard protection. That's TireRack.com. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic.
Something. I may give them a hard time, but they're really not that bad. At least most of the time. Now let's listen to more Kincade and Salciunas before I change my mind.
All right, I'll give you a minute or two before your latest A.J. Brown nonsense. Not him personally, just reporting and a tweet that was out there that was not from his accounts.
You mean from his agent?
No, not his agent. JM on our YouTube chat in response to the family stuff with players, right? And how things have changed. In case you're just tuning in, this is what we've been talking about so far this morning. We're trying to figure out how we as a fan base has changed because John said something off the air that I was like, wow, dude, you're spot on. There used to be the term Philadelphia fans. And now it's Eagles fan and Phillies fan and Sixers fan and Flyers fan. Even though you might be a fan of all four teams, you act differently with all four teams. Hell, if you go on social media, you guys probably see it. There's people that say, wow, Eagles Twitter is crazy.
Yes.
Right? Not Philadelphia sports Twitter is crazy. It's Eagles Twitter is crazy. I see a lot of Phillies Twitter, Phillies, like the baseball team, Phillies Twitter, where it's just a lot of love and positivity all the time, which is a lot different than Eagles Twitter, right? Totally different. So we're trying to figure out why that is. And we've talked about how we as a society, as a fan base, has changed, some for the good, some for maybe not so good. JM on our YouTube chat puts out a great point. You can speak to this better than we can, Johnny, because you are a little bit older than we are.
Is it really?
People were furious at Randall Cunningham for choosing to attend the birth of his child instead of practicing for the 1995 playoffs.
Not a question.
I don't think that would be the consensus today because we already have 2 Super Bowls. So maybe the winning is a big part of it, which we talk about all the time, or maybe it's societal, right? Like paternity leave is 2 weeks now. And I know how many times have you said, wow, I took a day off.
That's great, yeah. It's because you need to be there. All I can tell you is that it's a completely different day and age.
It is.
Absolutely different. I mean, Randall Cunningham got skewered.
For attending the birth of his child.
Skewered.
But because the Eagles had not won yet, it was, what are you doing?
Oh, Randall got treated like crap in this town. Ron Jaworski, the fact that Ron Jaworski is one of the most jovial, wonderful, charming men you could ever meet in this town. The fact that he doesn't walk around this town giving people the middle finger is a testament to how classy he is. Because he got treated like garbage. My father's generation, mostly. I mean, they treated him like garbage.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a completely different place. Now, it wasn't better then. I'm not painting it as the fan base was better then. But the fan base was better in some regards, in that they never would have accepted players giving half-assed efforts.
Right.
And quitting. And by the way, just go back 20 years. Not even 20 years. Charlie Manuel wouldn't have accepted it.
With Jimmy Rollins. He benched him.
You mean like one of the greatest players in franchise history?
Yeah.
He didn't accept it.
And we all love Jimmy, right? Like nobody
By the way,
hates Jimmy Rollins.
Did fans defend Jimmy Rollins?
No. Now it's Bryce can't run down the first baseline every time.
I got to tell you, it's a transformation within the same gene pool, and it fascinates me.
Now, Maurice on our YouTube chat, all caps. I
What's up,
appreciate
Mo?
it because I can actually read better. I do the show sheet in all caps. Connor yells at me for it.
No, I love it.
I can see better.
Yeah, I like it.
I like it. I like the all caps.
Do we need to go to the optometrist as a show?
Probably.
You would like my optometrist. She's very nice.
I'm good.
Maurice chimes in with the rise of social media, giving a voice to the youth that I don't understand or even want to comprehend. I feel that this is the reason for the soft modern-day sports fan in Philadelphia. Now, I don't want to go that far, but there's the accounts with no faces.
Yeah, disregard.
You could be arguing with a 14-year-old, right?
Exactly.
And when I was a little kid, I was actually nastier than I am now when it comes to Philadelphia sports because I am my father's son. And I've just kind of grown up over the years. So I was yelling and screaming and calling guys bums when I was at Citizens Bank Park as a kid. You're a bum. David Belf, that's the guy that I first learned the word bum with. There are people that the Phillies can do no wrong because it might be a teenager that you're interacting with on social media.
It might be.
And then we take
Most
it
of
as...
the time, it's not.
Probably not. Yeah.
It's mostly grown men who have multiple accounts.
Those
There's a lot of those.
Those
a
exist.
lot of those out there.
All right, we'll get back to the Davis Honda text line here in a moment, and we will tell you today how you can win a spot in Knockout. You have to get to work today, ladies and gentlemen.
Get after it.
Jeff Darlington of ESPN covers the NFL, also golf. Remember, he was on the scene when Scotty Scheffler got arrested.
He was, wasn't he? Yeah.
Jeff
what
Darlington.
an amazing thing to be like at that story.
We were on the air, and we were like, what's going on?
Yeah, that was a wild day.
Why is Scotty Scheffler getting arrested?
Right place, right time for Jeff Darlington.
And then he goes out there and plays. It's amazing.
Shot well, too.
Jeff Darlington talking about the latest on A.J. Brown.
Well, we learned actually, Matt, that it is exactly where we've expected it to be all along. This just validates what we've already kind of felt about Jalen Waddle and about A.J. Brown and that trade, which, by the way, is more about when, not if. I still anticipate A.J. Brown getting moved out of Philly. Do not mistake the silence that we currently are feeling around A.J. Brown for being indifference or lack of activity. Eventually, after June 1st, I still think this happens. The Jalen Waddle situation only validates that further. By the way, we look toward teams that could potentially trade for A.J. Brown. The Patriots are the perfect fit in his former coach in Tennessee and Mike Vrabel being there. And the compensation, almost exact, guys. The Patriots hold the 31st pick overall and the 95th pick overall. The Broncos, getting Jalen Waddle, had to give up the 30th and 94th. So it's almost apples to apples in terms of the trade comp, I really think that this does feel like a very natural progression this offseason.
So a matter of when, not if.
That's the only thing is, the only thing I would disagree with Jeff Darlington on that is I don't believe that it's going to be this year's picks. Like he's saying the compensation. I think Howie wants next year's picks.
Yeah,
he may want this year's third-round pick. I think it'll be this year's third-round pick if they get that deal from New England. It would be this year's third-round pick, next year's first.
I think it's either happening draft day or it's post-June 1st.
I'd rather have next year's first-round pick.
Okay,
if you're going to have it, give me next year's because they're not going to go to the Super Bowl again. So the first-round pick will be better and the draft is better.
Yeah, actually.
So I'd rather have next year's first-round pick and have the additional first-round pick next year. Maybe New England finishes they get the 24th pick or whatever.
Yeah.
Give me the better pick.
So
I'd rather have that.
That was Jeff Darlington. Yesterday, it's 12:30 in the afternoon. The tournament had just tipped off. We're 15 minutes in. What was it? Nebraska and Troy. Was that the first? Was that the first game?
First game was Ohio State TCU.
That's right, Ohio State TCU first game, and Julian Edelman, who, of course, former New England Patriot and does the podcast, the Dudes on Dudes with Gronk. Gronk Talk Football.
Gronk like it. Gronk enjoy this.
Julian Edelman just out of nowhere at 12:30 yesterday, probably just rage baiting. Posting a GIF of himself saying we're all Patriots and A.J. Brown winking at the camera, which is what took place on the Dudes on Dudes podcast on Radio Row back in February.
And then what happened with that, what he posted?
It got retweeted.
By?
Christian Gonzalez, cornerback.
Oh, no. Who else retweeted it?
Oh, I don't know. That's the one I saw.
A.J. Brown's representation.
Oh, really?
Yeah. CAA. Yeah.
Wait, really? Oh,
yeah.
I missed this.
Yeah, they retweeted it.
CAA?
Yeah, they retweeted it.
That's a Twitter account?
Yeah, so they retweeted it.
Oh,
so just a thing. Now that they also, I believe, at one time represented him.
Who, Edelman?
So yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, there's other explanations. Of course, there's some Scooby-Doo thing. Of course, this means nothing. This doesn't mean anything.
It might mean nothing. It could just be a bit at this point.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
it is. It's like the
week
bid,
one. You might be wearing your A.J. Brown jersey, Johnny.
The bid is piss off all my current teammates.
Unless he texts them on the side saying, "I'm just
yeah, exactly.
I mean, we see Lane Johnson in this town tweet the eye emojis once a month.
Yeah, nothing happening.
Yeah,
you know what he's not. You know what he's not tweeting. Boy, I'd like the Dallas Cowboys.
I'm not saying that.
Exactly. That's where the difference lies.
Well, I'm just saying that athletes do love to rile people up.
Yeah, they don't like to do that with other teams, with players with other teams. This is nothing like any of those situations. Nothing like it. This is childish. This is get it the hell over.
Well, there's your A.J. Brown update for now. Who knows if we get into more because you never know when the next report might come out.
It's like romper room. I swear to you.
Before we get back to our Davis Honda text line, we are also going to tell you to send a voice memo to the Davis Honda text line today. So today on this Friday, we're having a Philadelphia fan-related discussion. We want your voice to be heard. So the way you text into the show, 610-632-0975, you can also send a voice memo. So if you don't want to be somebody that waits on hold, we get it. You send in your
busy people.
Yeah, you're driving into work. You're getting your work day ready. I call my wife early saying, hey, be careful getting on the highway because I saw an accident this morning. It might be backed up. You might want to go a different route. So people are busy. You're filling up your coffee mugs. You're doing all this kind of stuff. So you can send in a voice memo. Just like you would text a voice memo to your friend, you can text a voice memo to the station, 610-632-0975. It's the same number. And then Connor or Rodman in the back will grab it and put it in our little handy-dandy audio file, and then we'll play it. So what we're going to do today, best voice memo, whether it's topical or, hell, just want to make us laugh, feel free. Whatever it is, we want the voice memos to be heard today. Is that right, Connor?
Yeah, absolutely. It's very easy to do, and it's something that Sean will put in the file, and we'll get to those as they come in, and you'll have a chance to go to Sixers, Bulls, win knockout tickets through the voice memo.
I think making us laugh, I would appreciate it today. Making us laugh. I think it would be a funny thing on a Friday. Let's make us laugh.
It's also great for this discussion because it's a very in-depth conversation. I got to tell you, I get so many texts on the text line that are like 4 paragraphs long, and I just can't read them.
That's a good point.
We don't have the time.
Well, I'll help you with the big words, Connor. I've helped you before.
It's not the length of the words.
It's what we're talking. Again, if you're just tuning in, what we're talking about is just sort of how we have changed as a fan base, better or worse, right? For better or worse.
And the vast majority of the majority. How about this? The majority of ways we've changed for the better.
Yes,
but there are some ways we've changed for the worse.
And we're wondering,
holding players accountable is by far the worst. By far the worst.
That's the one.
We celebrate things. We cheer for people. We celebrate things as if that never would have been celebrated in the past. That never would have been considered accomplishments in the past.
Like if you're tired of hearing A.J. Brown, fine. We'll use the Alvarado one as an example.
Sure.
Like what changed in this city that a guy that got popped for PEDs and will not be able to help you in the playoffs, since when is that standing ovation when they returned, right?
That cost all his teammates, too.
Like that, I don't get. Now, in the same breath, Johnny, I can say, I hope Orion Kirkering gets a standing ovation on opening day. And he cost the team a play. Like,
whoa.
Who knows what happens?
He did not. He cost a team due to poor performance, a poor decision in the heat of the game.
Right.
He did not cheat.
Right. He did not. You're right.
He did not blatantly cheat. There's a big difference.
But in the past,
and by the way,
he would be booed the next day.
And by the way, I do absolutely agree with you. I want Orion Kirkering to get.
I want him to feel welcome. Like
I want him to get, because I don't want to be the Cro-Magnon man fan base that this fan base has been in the past. I hope that because here's one of the reasons. I root for the laundry.
Right.
I want Orion Kirkering to do things this year, 6th inning preferably, that helps this team accomplish some great things.
Yeah, but at the same time, Johnny, I know people, his name might be Al, and his last name might be Salciunas, that wants him out of town. Doesn't want to see him ever again because of what happened.
I get it. No, but the thing is, I get that.
And I don't think my father would do the standing ovation on opening day. I think he and I would not see eye to eye about that.
I'm not sure about this, the whole thing, standing ovation. Remember, it's the first day, so everybody will be standing. Because every player gets a standing ovation. It's opening day. Because the whole team is getting the ovation saying. So the standing ovation is not necessary. But the ovation, I hope he gets a really warm welcome. I really do. And Big Al, come on now. Let's do it, dude. Let's do it. We want him to succeed.
Yes.
And that, believe me, I am selfishly of the belief that that's why I want it. I'm not doing it as some great humanitarian.
Right.
Even though Orion is a very charming, nice young man.
And when he spoke at his locker afterward, it was awesome.
He couldn't have, to me, couldn't have made me even more of I was already a fan of his.
Right.
He's a charming guy. He's a nice guy. I couldn't have been a bigger fan the way he handled himself that night. That is everything that a man does.
Sure.
Under pressure. And that was great pressure. I mean, he cost his whole team.
Yeah. He cost
the whole season.
Yeah.
Because I really do believe they would have gotten back here for Game 5.
Yeah. So holding players accountable, why is that changed? Is it got one last year, and he is making $700 trillion? Like it's changed. It's society. It's not just Philadelphia. It's societal. But I agree with you because the point that I made the day that we knew it was happening, right? I tried saying, hey, are we sure this is a good idea? Because what if it doesn't work?
Right.
Like, are you going to go back to booing him? Like hey, we loved you for 3 days, but now we hate you again. Thank God it worked because we never had to go down that rabbit hole.
And
but
I think that's
what if it didn't work? Like now what do you do?
And there was a real chance that it wouldn't have worked.
Right.
There was a real
by
chance.
By the way, it didn't until the 8th inning, right? Like he had a blooper. Like it's not like he had a good game until that moment, and that changed the direction of that season.
It's just that's one of those times where there's times, and someday hopefully you will not have to experience it for a long time. There are times where I go, man, I wish I could hear my dad talk about something that's going on.
Right.
That'd be one of those moments. I would love to have been able to hear my dad go,
sure.
What the hell are they doing?
Why are they doing this?
And he would have been much more, on the scale of a fan, he was much more of the compassionate type. So for his time, he was much more, he was not a booer. My dad was not a booer. Like he wasn't go to a game and boo.
No, you watch the games in silence.
My dad was not a booer. No, my dad was not a booer. My dad would bitch about a player being bad or whatever, but my dad wouldn't boo. No, he was not a booer.
Oh, before we check our text line, Matt Salvano chimes
What's up, Matt?
We must have struck a nerve.
What's that?
There is no way we should reward Orion Kirkering with a standing ovation on opening day.
Well, look, there's no standing ovation because everybody is getting an ovation. The whole team is getting the whole fans are standing when the team gets introduced on opening day.
That man should already want to perform better after choking that out last year in the playoffs. There is 100% zero need for it.
He does, though. He does. Everybody is going to be standing on opening day for Orion Kirkering anyway, because the entire team gets a standing ovation.
Oh, and
they're introduced.
And I clicked on Matt's profile. Matt's like our age, and I know you got to check out Coasters and Brews, the podcast. It's actually
I'm familiar.
Yeah, they're good dudes. I didn't realize it was you, Matt. So thanks.
But more importantly, he's a guy has earned. Here's what he's earned. He's earned my respect. He's earned my respect. The way he handled himself, I respect Orion Kirkering. I respected him before he's a good guy, and the way he carries himself, he's a good guy. But he earned my respect. Here's Jose Alvarado, who got a home run just to guys like Matt. Here's Jose Alvarado. He finds out he's suspended. He waits till everybody's gone. He packs up his locker and he sneaks out like a thief in the night and doesn't address his team. That's the difference. The whole season, the whole pressure of this city on Orion Kirkering, he waits, makes sure he stands behind a locker and answers every question with cameras and everything in front of him. Jose Alvarado finds out he gets caught cheating and exposes himself, costs his team.
And got a standing ovation.
And what does he do? He waits till the team's gone, sneaks out, and doesn't address his team.
What's made us change? What do we got on the Davis Honda text line? Feel the Davis difference. Check them out, Burlington.
All right, so we have a check-in here just on what we were just talking about from Joe from Boston. And he says, Bohm and Kirkering both handled their situations with grace and humility. I would never boo them or anyone else, to be honest. By the way, I'm John's age. I remember booing as a child, though.
Yes.
So Joe in Boston has changed over the course of his life.
Joe, yes. Yeah, I remember booing as a kid, and my dad didn't.
Sure.
And I stopped booing. I probably stopped booing around probably around high school age.
Okay.
But I booed as a kid.
Now,
because other adults at games were doing it. And I watched it and just fed into it and did it.
Yeah.
And then just stopped. My section at the Eagles did not do it. Did not. They were not. They were not.
Policy?
They were not. They were not a bunch of hoagie mouths.
Well, it's tough with the duct tape John had to put on him when they walked in.
You're not allowed to talk during games.
You know what it was? Our section at the Eagles game, they were people who actually came to watch games.
That's
by the
why.
way.
Okay.
And we were also stand-up section.
Oh, how about that?
Which I like. I like a stand-up section.
He brings up Bohm, the not booing. The reason why Bohm didn't get booed the next day that I bleep and hated here is because he owned it.
And that's what he's saying. He respected him because like Kirkering, he stood in front of the microphone, took ownership of it. I admire that.
When Sean Rodriguez calls Phillies fans entitled and then just leaves it at that, that's why he gets booed for life.
Sean Rodriguez. Dude.
All right, coming up next. Send in those voice memos. 610-632-0975. Best voice memo.
Already.
All right, awesome.
Wow, good.
Best voice memo earns the spot in knockout. So we'll play those coming up next. Also, a fireable offense? John Kincade thinks one move may be. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Sixers and Flyers both find wins. I'm Connor Thomas. It was a great sports day here at Philly as both the Sixers and the Flyers found big victories in their playoff push, and they both beat the Kings. The Flyers won 4-3 via the shootout for their fifth victory in the last 6 games over the L.A. Kings. Here's how that sounded right here over on WMMR.
In his career, Matvei Michkov has been good in the shootouts. He'll cut in for the right circle, goes in front, took the shot, he scores! And the Flyers beat the Kings for their 6th straight road win.
Great call by Tim Saunders there. And the Flyers seem to be heating up at the right time. They'll play the Sharks tomorrow at 4 p.m. out in San Jose. Sixers beat their Kings 139-118 behind a monster night for VJ Edgecombe. 38 for the Sixers, Rook, a career high in the win. They play the Jazz tomorrow night. Eagles made a couple additions for offensive depth yesterday in free agency, signing running back Damian Pierce and tight end Stone Smart. And the first day of the tournament, it was madness. High Point upsets Wisconsin. VCU upsets UNC. Texas upsets BYU. That's why they call it March Madness. Penn, unfortunately lost to Illinois in their first-round matchup. Andrew DeCecco joins us coming up at 8:05 for his thoughts on the latest Eagles news. This update's brought to you by the Hartford Auto Insurance. Drivers 50 and over can count on the Hartford Auto Insurance for protection that brings peace of mind. Go ahead and check out the Hartford. Your protection is their passion. Provided by the Hartford Insurance Group, Incorporated. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
doesn't stop with these guys. Make sure you tune in Middays with Marks. You guessed it with me, John Marks. That's coming up at 10 o'clock. Let's get back to more of Kincade and Salciunas right here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
7 a.m. hour is brought to you by the BetParks online casino and sportsbook app. Live bet sports on the BetParks app. Play all your favorite casino games. There's always another way to win on the BetParks online casino and sportsbook. Got to be 21 in Pennsylvania, Jersey, or Maryland. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, 7:30 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Don't you just love it when somebody's always after you? There's a guy in our YouTube chat, M4, who's always after me.
What'd you do today to piss off M4?
Just the fact that we mentioned in passing, which we will talk a little bit more in a moment, Jared McCain.
What do you mean?
You know, he thinks Jared McCain is overrated.
Oh, okay.
We'll get to that in a second. There's some times where you just have to pipe down in a conversation. You might end up being right, but now's not the time to continue to hold that stance. But he most recent comment was Alvarado's a million times better than Kerkering. Boo-hoo, Alvarado hurt my whittle feelings and made me cry.
What?
Alvarado screwed this baseball team over
Alvarado
last
screwed
year.
over his teammates, cheated.
It's not that hard.
And then when he found out, he snuck out like a thief in the night.
He is better than Orion Kerkering. I agree with you.
Didn't stand there and answer the questions. Didn't stand there and just shh.
My whittle feeling.
Give me a break.
Are your whittle feelings hurt, Andrew?
By the way, snuck out on. Don't,
they are
too.
Thanks for asking.
Don't worry about us. He snuck out on his teammates. He snuck out on his teammates. Left on a Saturday. They come the next day. His locker's gone. The story had already broken, but his locker's empty. He's gone.
I will say though, can't wait to watch 7, 8, 9 this year, man. Alvarado, Keller, Duran, bring it. Just don't get pitched. Just no more PED use.
Jozempic.
All right. So voice memos have already been coming in. That's fantastic. Thank you, Connor Thomas.
Thank you very much.
So give us the first one. Our discussion point today. You can continue just texting the show to the Davis Honda text line. But what we're doing today, your chance to win the spot and knockout. Best voice memo that is sent in. Same number, 610-632-0975. Why have we changed as Philadelphia fans? Why do we look at teams differently? Like, hey, I'm going to not be as critical about the Phillies because that's the team that nobody wants to be critical about.
Oh, Phillies just get such praise.
I'm going to attack the Eagles left and right, even though they're the most successful one.
Bryce Harper chose us.
Well, that's probably a big part of it.
So we're gonna give Bryce all the love in the world.
And can we sign the pact of the whatever happens pact with the Flyers and Sixers remainder of this season? We'll get to the Twitter poll update in a moment. What do we got? Give us our first voice memo.
So Dylan from Bristol checks in on the A.J. Brown conversation. The first voice memo in the history of Kincade and Salciunas. Let's hear what he has to say.
I feel like the Birds are going to get 2 first-round picks for A.J., but at the same time, I don't like what they have going on at the wide receiver position. I like Smitty at the number 1. I do not like Hollywood Brown at the number 2. Yes, is he better than a lot of the receivers we've had even at number 1 in the past years? 100%. But to be our number 2 after having AJ and Devontae and already having an underwhelming season last year, I think they need to get something done there.
That's because you're gonna draft a receiver.
They're not going to get 2 number 1s.
Yeah, that's not.
They're not getting 2 number 1s, but they're going to draft a wide receiver, probably with the first-round pick that they would get for him. And whether it's this year or next year. And remember, A.J. Brown was a middle of the second-round wide receiver coming out of college. So they're going to get somebody who can come in here and then be a number 2, and Hollywood can be a 3.
Yeah, and Devontae's your number 1.
And can take the lid off of defense. That's what Hollywood does. And go read, if you want to go down a rabbit hole, go read the things that not only Lamar, but Lamar Jackson, but also Patrick Mahomes both say about his skill set and having him in an offense.
Sure.
You can go read, and it's really fascinating what they just say as far as what defensive coordinators have to do because of him.
But I agree with the voice. What was his name?
It was Dylan.
Dylan. I agree with Dylan that you don't want him as your number 2.
No. I don't think he's going to be the number 2.
No, I don't think so either. They're gonna draft a wide receiver this year. All right. What else do we have?
All right. We also have check-ins on the text line on our overall conversation. And someone brings up the same crowd talk, John, that you were bringing up earlier.
Sure.
It says, back in the day, there was no StubHub or Game Time to sell your tickets. Obviously, it was more of the same crowd from game to game, sport to sport.
No. It's not the same people. Because that wasn't it. Because there were less.
Because there was less season ticket holders.
So there were less season ticket holders because the Eagles had less season ticket holders, Phillies had less season ticket holders. And back then, you scalped your tickets.
Right.
And you could scalp tickets like when you tailgated in the parking lots. You could go to tailgate in the parking lots and you could scalp Eagles tickets, scalp Phillies tickets. And there was much more tailgating before Phillies games than there is now. Much more. There's more stuff to do, I guess.
Sure.
And many more people go to games now to eat.
But when you meant same crowd, you meant like the energy was the same.
The energy was the same.
If the Phillies won, they celebrate. If the Eagles won, they celebrate. If the Eagles and Phillies both lost, you handled it the same way. It wasn't, oh, well, it's okay.
Yeah, the Phillies get such
now,
just grace.
I will say this. Handling a Philly season like an Eagles season, you can't do.
It's stupidity.
And there are people that do it. There are people that
you can't do
it. Like I imagine there is somebody who is having gray hairs a lot earlier than other people.
Hey, shut up.
With the way they watch the Phillies. Like they lost game 4 of the season. We suck. And it's like, whoa.
That's why I say to people, if they could ever, and many people can't, if they could ever do could you possibly wait until Memorial Day to worry about standings and where they are in the standings? Could you do it? And I know people who've tried it because I always challenge people to try it, and they've tried it, and they go, yeah, it actually helped. It actually helped me enjoy the season more. You feel less pressure about it. It's a little less pressure when you do it.
I got you. All right. You're wondering if a move could be a fireable effect.
Yeah, I think so. I how about this? I hate you never hear me say fire a guy. I mean, I usually ever say don't. But I'll say it. To me, I think that the Jared McCain deal is a fireable offense, amongst all other things. It's so bad.
Right, you're not saying that's the only thing.
It's sort of the cherry on the top of the dog poop sundae. And when you're a punchline nightly on NBA TV and inside the NBA and everything about this Jared McCain deal, and they put up graphics now every time there's an Oklahoma City game. Oklahoma City is the best team in the NBA. And there are graphics now used every game to point out what Jared McCain does in the game because people can't believe that he was traded away from the 76ers and the 76ers couldn't find a way to use him. Absolute stupidity. Now, look, I cannot think of a move of any Philly sports team that gave away a talent this early in their career and saw it backfire this bad when they didn't need to. And the only one I could think of, and people will probably try to point to, is Cutter Gauthier. But Cutter Gauthier was not going to play here. He refused to play here. And they got Jamie Drysdale in return, part of it, who is a top 4 defenseman. It's going to be here for a while. Cutter Gauthier wasn't going to play here, so it's a different story.
I mean, the Sixers had one not that long ago. The Mikal Bridges, Zaire Smith swap on draft night.
That was a bad one.
Yeah, but the thing is, you never got to see Mikal Bridges except what you saw in college.
Yeah, but at the same time, that's like you had the guy and then you moved the guy while his mom works for the organization. Right, everybody wanted him.
But you got McCain. You saw McCain at the NBA level. You saw what he potentially could be. And you said, nah, we're good.
I'll give you one age totally different.
Okay.
Because he was 30.
All right.
But the Phillies trading Cliff Lee to Seattle and then like literally re-signing him a year and a half later. And by the way, this was 2009, so not like this was not.
I'm more
the Phillies were out of the playoffs, so they were selling high, like Daryl Morey said about Jared McCain.
Yeah, I'm more looking young though.
Okay,
I'm more looking young. Like I mean, I'm not looking for an older player. I'm looking for young.
That Cliff Lee trade was stupid though. Like it was.
There was no need. There was absolutely no need to trade a young player like Jared McCain. And Jared McCain, if he was on this roster right now, the Sixers would be in the top 6 seeds. They would not be languishing right now where they're going to try to knife fight their way out of the play-in tournament. So to me, I look at this, it's just another reason why this has been horribly mismanaged by.
Look, I said this last year. I was going to be surprised if he survived last season. And he did, Daryl.
He did.
And I hear you with the McCain thing. And again, if anybody's trying to like do don't let them off the hook is something I'll say. I get it. You don't want to talk about Reggie Miller 2.0 or whatever, but don't let him off the hook. Like it was an unnecessary trade. That's what it came down to. And, talking to somebody yesterday basically confirmed the thought that they thought there was another move to be made, and the move wasn't made, which meant he misread the market. If he misread the market, that's his job, right? Like, that's Daryl Morey's job. It's why when the trade first happened, you didn't see me freak out. I wanted to see what the next move was. Then there was no next move. And this was before everybody got hurt, right? Things were sky high, and Bede was on fire. And Bede was asking the organization not to trade players to get under the tax. Like, this is when things were going well, and then they make the trade, and, man, the vibes dropped pretty quickly in that locker room. They thought there was another move to be made. The move wasn't there. That means he misread the market. That's not good.
It's completely poor. You do not make one trade without – when there's a conditional type of thing where, you got to go get this guy to get that guy. You don't make the first trade unless you know the second trade's already locked in. It's mismanagement. And the Sixers look like fools with this.
Every night that he plays well, which has been more often than not since he's gone to Oklahoma City.
It absolutely is.
It looks worse and worse.
It's so bad.
He had a comment the other day. It was not a shot at the Sixers. But if you guys saw the highlight play.
The big man.
Hartenstein,
right.
Dribble handoff. McCain hits the three, and he was asked about it after the game or in practice the next day, and he was like, yeah, I used to watch Maxey and Embiid do that all the time. I'm happy that I get to do that. It wasn't like, screw Nick Nurse, they didn't try it. But it comes off horribly. Like, he's basically saying an element of his game was not utilized. And they trade him for a late first-round pick in a bunch of seconds. All right, I understand the frustration. Coming up next, we will check today's headlines and also the text line, Davis Honda text line, on all of our topics. Also, voice memos. Best voice memo today. We'll get the spot and knockout. Sixers Bulls 5 days from now, March 25th. We'll talk about it next year on the Fanatic.
I'm going to tell you that today I'll be out at Parks Casino, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a fantastic day because it is hoops hysteria. The college basketball tournament is going wild at Parks Casino, the best place to watch all the action. Hoops Mania watch parties all through Sunday, and I'll be there this afternoon. Looking forward to having you hang out. Kentucky, a favorite against Santa Clara. That's early. I'll be rooting for Amy Fadul to be happy. Plus tonight, Missouri and University of Miami. Villanova, an underdog against Utah State today at 4 o'clock. St. John's, a favorite against Northern Iowa today at 7:10. So get some skin in the game. Bet all the action on the BetParx Sportsbook and online casino app. You can watch the action with me today at Parks Casino, and you can win great prizes too. Register to win Iverson and Maxey signed jerseys and basketballs. Play the BetParx Human Slot Machine, and plus, Coach Jimmy Lynam will be there. Mark Jackson, Mike Vrieswick, another Temple Al, plus Joe Conklin, D. Lynam, and more. So come. Starts today at noon at Parks Casino in Ben Salem. Plus, John and Sean will be broadcasting live today with Middays with Marks. BetParks.com has all the details. Got to be 21, Pennsylvania, Jersey, Maryland, or Michigan. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The Unfiltered High School Athlete of the Week.
97.5, The Fanatic.
7:47 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic. We will get to today's headlines with Connor Thomas in a moment. The reason why I say in a moment, I want to know, is Chase Johnston in today's headlines?
He's not.
All right. You got to show some respect to Chase Johnston now.
I wanted to give you the space because he's your guy.
Yeah.
So, he's not
even
my
though
guy.
you don't know who his
he's not my guy. Chase Johnston is Cameron Johnston, former punter of the Eagles, who looks like Bill Burr, we found out. I saw a photo of him without his helmet on. I was like, oh, my God, that's Bill Burr. Chase Johnston is the guard from High Point who, like 2 weeks ago, we read the stat where he was 0 for 4 from 2-point field goal range this year, but shot like 48% from 3.
He had no 2-point. He had no field goals for the
None.
2-point.
No, he was 0 of 4 from the field, but shot 49%, I have in front of me, from 3.
Which is amazing.
And people were saying that he was the next bracket buster, and you took exception to it because you were like, hey, you can't do that yet because of guys like
Jack Golke.
Golke, yeah. Well, bracket buster. Kind of. He's a 12 seed, so a lot of people do the 5-12 matchup, the 12.
For no reason, they just do it because they pick it.
No, but he counts with the way that he did it. He counts.
And how about his first 2-point field goal of the season?
How about that?
Is the game winner. He rebound. He's on the break. They kick it out to him, outlet pass, and he does the old school finger roll to give High Point the lead and the win. Chase Johnston,
his first. That's
first
amazing.
2-point field goal
That's
this
amazing.
season, man.
That's why March is the best.
Did you see the kids' audio of it?
I liked it.
That was
to go
great.
back and watch it. The students.
I put it out there. The kids broadcast. They did a really nice job.
That's awesome.
For amateur broadcasters, they did a really nice job.
Oh, yeah, man. That's great.
Excellent.
All right, give us a voice memo. That's how we're giving away our spot and knockout best voice memo of the day, and then we'll get to headlines. What we got?
Mike from Philly checks in.
The Phillies, I think, over the past few years, people have come to expect failure in the playoffs. You know what you get with the Phillies. With the Eagles, we've been elite for the past few years. They know it's a good team. We want to see more.
So that's the difference in the fan base than Mike from Philly.
Yeah, but that's what I don't get. Like, you expect failure, so you're nicer about it? The Phillies are kids' gloves. Like, people handle the Phillies like a companion.
We like them.
And I don't know if that's what Mike's saying for him personally, but Mike's saying, hey, we expect the Eagles to be elite, so that's why we act the way we do. The Phillies we expect to lose. You know what? I'd rather be nicer to the team that's elite more often than the team that has failed.
And by the way, the team that's elite is playing in a league where it's a salary cap. Everybody is on an even playing field. So to be elite is awesome when everybody's on an even playing field. The Phillies are being bought into the elite club. They're in the top 4 payroll club for years. They're being bought their way to 90 wins. I mean, come on. There's a big difference.
All right. You can continue to text in or voice memo in. Same number, 610-632-0975.
Those are good.
All right, go ahead. Today's headlines.
Today's headlines with the Connor Thomas.
And it's brought to us by Lundy Law. For over 70 years, Lundy Law has been fighting for injured people. If you need them, remember the name, Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Visit LundyLaw.com. That's LundyLaw.com. Right off the rip, we need a little music change. Because we have espresso up for grabs, ladies and gentlemen.
That's good work by you.
Team Italy is auctioning off their game-used espresso machine from the World Baseball Classic. The current bid, MLB's main account tweeted this out. Hat tip to Andrew Salciunas for bringing it to my attention. $2,010, the current bid for the espresso machine with all the numbers from the players who hit home runs from Team Italy. Are you guys in?
Well, I'm out.
No, but I don't drink coffee.
But if I'm somebody that's like, that had a lot of, if there was a Lithuanian Kupnikas shot.
A what?
Kupnikas is the honey liquor that we drink.
Liquor.
And they won games that they weren't supposed to win in the FIBA Classic or the Olympics. Maybe. I don't have that connection with Team Italy's espresso machine, but I would imagine somebody that took a lot of pride in Team Italy winning those games might.
Yeah, if you love Team Italy, you can get a piece of history, and the number's still on.
The only problem is nobody there's no way to identify it.
What do you mean, identify what?
Like, I mean, it's like there's really like anybody could make an espresso machine and sort of.
It's got all the numbers with the.
I imagine they're going to do something where
authenticate
they. I would imagine there's something to it. I don't know what it's up to now. I saw it yesterday. It was at $2,010. I can't find a link to bid on it. I wonder how much it may be up to now.
There you go.
So we'll keep you updated on that story and see how much it goes for. Something that this is the time of year for. It's not just March, and we'll talk about that in a second with Duke and Siena. But you also start to hear the promotional slogans for Major League Baseball teams with the season right around the corner, less than a week from opening day. I need you guys to decide which one is worse, because the Pittsburgh Pirates have theirs for this year, and it's Hoist the Cone. And nobody has any idea what it means.
Wait, that's their slogan?
Hoist the Cone. The closest the internet has gotten is back in 2019, they sold the Pittsburgh Cone at concession stands, which is an ice cream cone with kielbasa, pierogi, Swiss cheese, sauerkraut, and Russian dressing.
I would try that.
Yeah, but like 2019 was the last time it was
sauerkraut. I'm out of the sauerkraut.
So that's their slogan this year.
Hoist the Cone?
That's horrible.
So,
yeah, it's horrible.
That's bad.
Other team in
I bet it should be hoist your payroll and try to actually put together a winning team.
The other team in contention for this is the Chicago Cubs. Have you seen their slogan yet for the upcoming season?
Isn't it Fly the W? Don't they usually say Fly the W?
No, they have a special one.
Remind me what it is, but like a month ago it came out, people were like, this is confusing as hell.
Yeah, the Chicago Cubs slogan is this. No, that's it. It's just the word.
Never mind. There was
this.
something. Oh, yeah, this. Yeah, that's right. This. That's their
just
slogan.
the word this. What in the hell is going on with Major League Baseball teams?
Okay, that's like there's like a PR team that came up with that.
Yeah, they spent.
Oh, dude, I always love
I
always love thinking about the rooms where they sit down and they go.
Like who came up with that?
Somebody came up with the idea, number one.
And thought it was a good idea.
And number two, the people at the desk said,
wow, that's a great idea,
That's a great idea.
Boy, you were smart with that one.
I always like to think about, like, I would love to be a fly on the wall in some of these meetings. Like, you thought this was a good idea?
Yeah, they thought this was a good idea.
Dude, even look, I'll sorry to get deeper here. Even when companies get into, like, one side or the other political stuff, like I go,
why? Like I would say why?
Do you think that's a good idea? Because you're alienating.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't think through stuff. We give a lot of credit saying, oh, it was probably this logical decision. A lot of dumb stuff. Speaking of dumb stuff, overlooking your first round opponent in March Madness, well, if you're Duke, you can get away with it, right? Well, they got in a dogfight with Siena yesterday, and Malik Brown talked after the game about Duke's mentality and why this might have happened.
What did Shire tell you in the locker room?
Oh, yeah, obviously we weren't playing our basketball. Just like I said, we thought it was going to be a cakewalk going into this game, so now we know what it is, and we just got to respond back the way we usually do.
Oh, my gosh.
Yep, I saw it yesterday. It is
it's honest.
We all know that has been thought of before, but nobody's ever really said it.
Well, the kid just spoke.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get on him for just speaking.
I kind of respect him saying it.
No, I think he spoke the truth.
And no, but what I'm saying is every year teams probably have that mindset of let's get through this one.
Let's get through it.
But nobody says it.
Wow.
Yeah, Siena gave them all they can handle. So maybe Duke's woken up now. Maybe they're in a little bit of trouble, but we'll find out as the tournament progresses.
By the way, not only did Duke play them, did you guys see the amount of minutes Siena played?
Oh, yeah. All their starters played the entire game, right?
They
didn't sub, right?
They
subbed
them
at the end.
With the last 10 seconds.
To try to get guys on the scoreboard.
Which, at that point, is stupid. But
no, they wanted to say that they got to play in an NCAA tournament.
Sure. 40 minutes for all 5 starters yesterday. You know what? Credit to them, man. Siena, that's a good fight against the Duke Blue Devils, and you played 40 minutes of ball. By the way, I found the auction website. Still $2,010, holding steady.
Let's pool our money.
3 days and 12 hours until the final bid can be made. All right, coming up next.
I'll hold out.
The Eagles have made a flurry of moves.
Wow.
Now, they might not make people run to, Rally House to buy their jerseys, but it could impact some other moves in terms of backup quarterback, running back. Andrew DeCecco joins us next to try to make some sense of the quarterback room, running back room, and, of course, what do they do at wide receiver? It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now, on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A perfect night for Philly. I'm Connor Thomas, and it was a great sports night here in Philadelphia as both the Sixers and Flyers took down the Kings last night. The Flyers won 4-3 via the shootout for their 5th victory in the last 6 games over the Los Angeles Kings. They seem to be heating up at the right time. They'll play the Sharks tomorrow at 4 p.m. The Sixers beat the Sacramento Kings 139-118. BJ Edgecombe, a career-high night from him. You could hear it here on The Fanatic.
Outside right, Edgecombe for 3 and a new career high, 36 points. B.J. Edgecombe with his 3rd 3. The Sixers 15 of 30 from beyond.
He would end the game with 38. The Sixers will take on the Jazz tomorrow night. Another winnable game for them. The Eagles made a couple of additions yesterday, signing running back Damian Pierce and tight end Stone Smart, some offensive depth. We'll talk to Andrew DeCecco coming up next for his thoughts on those moves. And the first day of the tournament was, of course, madness. High Point upsetting Wisconsin. VCU upsetting UNC. Texas upsetting BYU. Unfortunately, Penn wasn't part of the upset party. They lost to Illinois. This update is brought to you by Uber Eats Philly. You hungry? Good thing Uber Eats has a great deal waiting for you at Coco's Cookies and Creamery. From now till March 31st, get a buy one, get one free deal on a milkshake, all on the Uber Eats app. Order now only on Uber Eats. Terms apply. See app for details. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
It is 8 a.m. here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. And coming up in a few minutes, we're going to speak to one of the many birthdays this week associated to Kincade and Salciunas. Andrew DeCecco's birthday was on the 18th. My mom's was yesterday. Tomorrow's is Coop's. My little baby turns 4 tomorrow.
Oh, my gosh.
Happy birthday, Coop.
Jeez, unbelievable.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, crazy. Andrew DeCecco joins us coming up in a few minutes because the Eagles have been busy this week. It's not anything that's stopped the world. Andy Dalton we talked about yesterday. The Red Rifle.
Correct.
I know. A lot of people did. It's okay. The Red Rifle. Andy Dalton is on the team in the quarterback room. Will he be the backup or will he be third string?
They're not paying him to be a third string.
Yeah, I feel that way too.
They're not. It's too much money.
Eagles signed Damian Pierce, running back who had some success over the years with the Houston Texans. Injuries have played a factor in his career recently, but you're wondering, all right, can you get something out of this guy as a backup because the A.J. Dillon thing didn't work out. Will Shipley never really became much of anything for them.
But you still have Tank Bigsby, so we'll see how he even slots in because Tank was really good down the stretch last year.
Yeah, remember they refused to use him?
Trying to keep his value down. Smart move.
Weirdest thing. Yeah, he's entering his final season of his contract. They signed their 18th tight end yesterday. So the tight end room is they may have to come up with a new personnel group. If you have 12 personnel, 13 personnel, Eagles might have like a 18 personnel. It's just all tight ends on the field at the same time. They love it.
Well, they were only good in the goal line situations last year, so just run goal line the whole field.
The whole time. Why not?
Doug Peterson may like it.
Yeah, he might.
Never know.
All right, so we'll speak to all about the flurry of moves that the Eagles have made this week with Andrew DeCecco coming up in a few minutes. What we've been talking about is us, right? Philadelphia fans, how we have changed over the years, how we have become more forgiving, and why is that, right?
Like why?
And what's crazy to me,
not more civil, because being more civil is thank God we finally,
yes, absolutely,
thank God we cleansed the timeline of that crap.
One of the big things that has popped up over the years, and John, I mean, you've done this for a long time, but I like to joke around the evil media thing.
Sure.
But there are people that are very anti, sports talk radio hosts and all that kind of stuff. And, I see it every single day on our YouTube and Twitter. We appreciate you still being a part of the show every day, even though you hate us. And it's like, because I didn't want to give a standing ovation to Jose Alvarado, I'm a hater and I hate my team and I want the Phillies to lose. Like, no, I didn't want to give him a standing ovation because
he's a cheater.
He hurt your team, and so I don't understand why. And even though I want A.J. Brown back, you're not wrong for what you and E-Rock were saying the other day. Like, since when did we forgive that?
Like, why? I'd love to hear the explanation.
I can't explain it
because Saquon Barkley and Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts and everybody else could have been pissed off at the offense and pissed off at everything like that, and they would have every right to want to slack off.
Linemen were playing through injuries, still going out there.
By the way, what they went through to play,
yeah.
I mean, it's the excuse making for, and I say it to you all the time. We love who we love.
Sure, and I think that's a big part of it.
And that's the big difference. Is there was a standard, and like for guys like Charlie Manuel, there's a standard for wearing the uniform, and you're going to play to that standard. And if you were Jimmy Rollins, you were going to play to that standard, or if you were the 25th guy on the roster, you were going to play to that standard. And if you were Jimmy Rollins, he wouldn't mind calling you out about it to hold you accountable. People in the camp there, well, it's AJ, and we're so thirsty that it's like, well, I'm afraid of Todd. I'm so tired of hearing about Todd Pinkston crap. Stop it. Like, stop. We're not there anymore. Not there. We already have two. We have two guys on the roster better than that, with all due respect to Todd. We have two guys on the roster better than that right now, plus Dallas Goedert,
Darius Cooper, and Britton Covey.
Yeah, thank you very much. So it's like it's so lame that we're willing to just excuse make for guys quitting, and it's quitting. I'm quitting. I'm upset. I'm going to give minimal effort.
And don't take it from us. Take it from Jason Kelce.
Yeah, exactly. No. Jason Kelce, he's a hater too, I guess. Or he's doing it for clicks.
Could be.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. We'll check our Dr. Avedon Iron Mountain Men's Health poll later on, because it's also about another topic we've discussed today. Will you sign the whatever happens pact? Sixers, Flyers, either both or just one or the other. Whatever happens the remainder of the season. We'll get the updates on that coming up in a little bit. But joining us now, we missed him yesterday. He was not in studio. He had some things to take care of. And I know it was not his birthday celebration, because Andrew DeCecco, like me, it's another day in the year. But anyways, happy birthday, Andrew, even though you probably didn't go that hard celebrating it.
No, I'm getting older, man. It's hard to rebound as much. But how you guys doing? Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming on, man. We're doing good. Eagles have been busy this week. Maybe not, moves that I said going into the break that people are going to run to their local rally house to buy the jerseys of, but Andy Dalton, you have the Hollywood Brown edition, and also Dameon Pierce. Let's start with the quarterback position. What do you think the Andy Dalton move means for maybe a guy like Tanner McKee?
Yeah, so the move was interesting because you look at what Andy Dalton's owed this year, and that's $3.9 million, two of which is guaranteed. The Eagles gave up a pick to get him, so in all likelihood, he's going to be on the roster in 2026. Now, I would caution again. I would caution maybe looking at it and saying that it indicates that a Tanner McKee move would be imminent. That's not the way that I view it, and my understanding is that there's no correlation between the two at this time. That's not to say that if the Eagles are wowed by a team and that they wouldn't entertain it, that could also be in play. But right now, that's not something that I think is imminent. But the Eagles have prioritized the backup quarterback position perhaps more than any other team in the NFL. You look at what they did before the season, trading for Sam Howell. They had Marcus Mariota, Joe Flacco, all these different players over the years. And this is kind of par for the course when you look at how they address it. They want to make sure that they have their bases covered. They don't have any weaknesses there. And if someone does need to step in, that you have someone who can capably navigate a game or two. And so I think that this is kind of standard practice for the Philadelphia Eagles right now. And we'll see what Andy Dalton has left. He's 38 years old. He may get to training camp, and he may not look like the player that he was even a few years ago. So I like the veteran presence that he provides. He gives you a different voice, a different perspective to add to the room. And, I think that was kind of an interesting move.
The interesting move is how many tight ends do you need on your roster? I mean, we knew the Mannion offense likes the tight end. They're loving the tight end.
Yeah, so if you go back and look at some of the different influences that Sean Mannion had, Kyle Shanahan, Kevin O'Connell, some of those coaches, they typically carry 4 tight ends. And I think I was on with you guys before, and it wouldn't shock me if the Eagles do keep 4 tight ends with differing skill sets. But, yes, they went from having essentially 0 tight ends in the room going into training camp, aside from E.J. Jenkins and Jaheim Bell, to now having an abundance of players. But as I like to always say, depth is not about the amount of players you have at one position. It's about the quality of those players. And right now you have a ton of guys like a Johnny Munt or Stone Smart. These guys are going to have to battle to make the team, because I don't know that any of these moves should preclude the Eagles from drafting a tight end. But I'm not really surprised that they're loading up there and seeing what they have. And, I mean, Howie Roseman has sort of, he looked at last season, and you see the lack of a blocking prowess. They were too receiving-centric from that position. They're doing a lot to expand that room and make it more well-rounded. And then you get to training camp, and you'll see what you have there. But I do anticipate them going heavy at that position this season.
Andrew, do you believe Dameon Pierce just a camp body, or do you think there's a role for him on this team as one of the backup running backs to Saquon?
Interesting player. I really liked him coming out of Florida. Had 939 rushing yards as a rookie. Then he sort of fell off injuries. He had some fumbling issues. Right now, Andrew, I view him more as a camp body because, yes, the Eagles carried 4 running backs last season, A.J. Dillon being the 4th running back. But if you are going to be that 4th running back, you have to be able to help on special teams. And that's where someone like Will Shipley, being the 3rd running back, as a kick returner, being the core 4 player on special teams, that's where his role is on game day. And what would be the purpose of carrying 4 running backs if you just have that 4th guy inactive? Now, I think in theory, he would make a lot of sense as a kick returner, but he's already returned 20 kicks in the NFL, did have a 98-yard kick return, which I think you like the explosiveness there. But really, he's sort of a typical between the tackles plotter. He does have a little bit of wiggle. We'll see if the injuries had an impact on him, not necessarily ascending to the player that he once was. But I think those are the type of players that you take a flyer on. I just don't know if there's going to be room for him on the roster if all the players in front of him, Saquon Barkley, Tank Bigsby, and Will Shipley, are healthy.
From what you've studied of this offense and what you think this offense is going to end up being, guys like Wilson, could a Van Sumeren down the line be a part of the mix, back in the mix for this team? Like, what do you see this coming for some of the guys that maybe we're not talking about as much right now as we continue to focus on just the biggest names?
Yeah, I love a Johnny Wilson or a Ben Van Sumeren question. So I I think Johnny Wilson, he would have had a pretty big role last season, John. And when I say a pretty big role, it doesn't necessarily mean that he was going to have 30 receptions or 40 receptions. It's that he had a defined role as a blocker, someone who was willing to do the gritty and grimy, dirty work to free teammates up and open up some things, and maybe it leads to some explosive plays. So not having him, and he suffered a knee and an ankle injury in training camp he was rolled up on, I think impacted it. I'm curious to see where Sean Mannion sort of pegs him at and what role they might have for him. The Eagles have been adamant that Johnny Wilson is a wide receiver despite having a body type that reflects more of a tight end. So I imagine they're going to keep him at receiver, but I want to see how they choose to utilize him. I think he could be a good red zone presence and maybe be somebody that you work in sporadically and certainly as a blocker. And then Van Sumeren's a free agent right now. He was a restricted free agent. The Eagles obviously didn't tender him.
You think he might put back in the back?
Yeah, he strikes me as somebody that when you look at April or May, I don't know that he's going to have much of a market. The Eagles, he probably has more value to the Eagles than he would to another team because he suffered a couple of serious injuries in back-to-back years, but the Eagles have worked with him since 2023 where he was a linebacker as an undrafted free agent, and he wants to be in Philadelphia. I've talked to Ben about this before. He loves Philly. Last season he mentioned to me that it was Philly or bust. So we'll see if the feeling's mutual, but it certainly can't hurt to bring someone like that in. And by the way, he's one of the more athletic players on the Eagles. He runs a 4.4 and jumps a 43-inch vertical at 240 pounds, and he played all different types of positions and even baseball. So it would make some sense for a low-cost deal to bring him in for training camp. And if Sean Mannion chooses to use a fullback, and the Eagles did have plans for Ben last season, that I think that could be a really intriguing fit.
Andrew, as we get closer to the draft, found it really interesting. Lane Johnson was on a podcast this week talking about how excited he is to play in a Sean Mannion offense, how it reminds him of Shanahan, and he talked about how his role will change a little bit. Do the Eagles go into the draft looking at tackles to eventually replace Lane Johnson to go with the way that Sean Mannion's offense would, or do you think they just take who they believe is the best offensive tackle available?
So if I had to look at it right now, Andrew, I would imagine that they're going to go with the best available player. But I think the best available player, I question how that, in this case, it would be Caden Proctor, who is a very large offensive tackle at 6'7", 366 pounds. He went to Alabama. I would wonder how that would fit into this style. But there's a number of other players like a Monroe Freeling from Georgia who could also fall within that range. It could just come down to preference, but he's a little bit on the lighter side. But then you worry about his ability to anchor. So Lane Johnson speaking about how his role might be a little different in this offense, I imagine he's talking about being able to play more in space. There's going to be more 12 personnel utilization, 2 tight ends. So he's going to get a little bit more help there. And yeah, I'm fascinated by how Chris Cooper and the Eagles choose to evaluate offensive linemen. I would imagine that they're going to look for more of the fleet-footed, fluid movers that are better in space, which is a departure from what they've done under Jeff Stoutland.
Andrew, we appreciate the time. Have a great weekend, my man. As we mentioned, it's a stretch of birthdays, man. Yours was the 18th. My mom's the 19th. Coops is tomorrow. Shout out to JM on our YouTube chat. His daughter's first birthday is tomorrow. So the Kincade and Salciunas family is representing in the birthday world today, this week.
Wow, yeah. Make sure you tell Coop I said happy birthday.
Oh, out of March. I will. Thanks, brother. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care, guys.
There he is. Andrew the
March
checker.
Birthdays.
Andrew and I very similar in terms of the birthday thing. Like, it's another day. Now, obviously, with a kid, I
good.
Good. Coop sang me happy birthday.
As someone who used to do that,
yeah, I got you.
You got to make sure you put that aside.
So,
it's not about you.
Shout out to JM's daughter. First birthday tomorrow as well. And Fran wants to know.
Okay.
Fran goes, happy birthday, Coop. Will Rodman be dressed as Chase from the Paw Patrol at his party?
Leave Rodman alone.
Well, you have to hire a furry. You got to hire a furry.
Everyone be nice to Sean.
Poor Sean.
He's working hard. He cuts the voice memos for who gets knockout tickets today, so be
just
careful.
in the back. We all months ago called him a furry, and now
who did?
I did.
You don't say we did.
You agreed, though.
No, I laughed.
No, we asked who at the station would most likely be a furry. I said Rodman. You guys agreed.
No, I thought I said Dylan.
I'm pretty sure I said leave Sean alone, which is exactly the party line I'm sticking with here. It's my guy back there.
Sometimes when Dylan grows the beard out, he looks like a furry. He looks like a creature.
He looks like he'd be the creature from the, he likes that look.
With friends like you guys, who needs enemies?
So Dylan had the nicest jacket yesterday.
Yeah, really nice.
The Phillies jacket.
It was
like blue and white with the red Phillies letters on the back. It was a really nice jacket.
Very nice.
All right, do we have voice memos? All right, we're giving away a spot. Sean goes, what the hell? We're giving away a spot and knockout best voice memo of the day. So if you want to be a part of the show, you want your voice heard, you don't want to wait on hold because we talk too much, you could text in 610-632-0975. Or you do the voice memo, same number, and we're giving away a spot knockout to the best one. What do we got today?
Chris from Lancaster checks in about Philly fans now being soft.
Good morning, Philadelphia. It's Billy Coe. That's right. Billy Coe in the morning show. I'm taking over. Philly fans have gotten soft because of these hot takes we got to listen to. I can't stand it anymore. We used to be respected. We used to throw snowballs at Santa. We used to stain the 700 level red. Now we're giving standing ovations to underperforming players. This is ridiculous. Tune into the afternoon show, Billy Coe and Ricky Bo. That's right, my name is first now. I changed it when Ricky was out yesterday. Don't tell him, but I deserve to be first anyways.
Yeah, Ricky was out yesterday.
It sounds like it could be a Bill Colarulo take there. The problem is, though, the people who, you can tell that never sat in the 700 level. He's like that. He's never, that Billy Coe never sat in the 700.
You don't think Billy Coe ever sat there?
That never sat in the 700 level. No, and Billy Colarulo never sat in the 700 level. No.
Well, no, Billy Coe, Mr. Lawyer, he sat behind home plate.
No, he never sat in the 700 level. There's a certain person who sat in the 700 level. I sat in the 700 level. 700 level, you sat in there of a certain age. You got to be a certain age.
That's when you became a man. You either get eaten alive.
It was called cheap. It was called cheap, and you could go to games. There were so many seats.
Damn right.
You could go to games, and now I didn't do it as a cosplayer. I didn't dress up as a Phillies cosplayer. I wasn't the Wolf Pack.
Oh, sure.
Or any of those things.
Didn't
do any of those.
I sat 700 level when Robert Person had the 2 home run game.
Okay.
And then there was a day, somehow a foul ball got up, and maybe it was
not to the 700.
Maybe it was the level beneath.
Yeah, it didn't get to the 700.
Would that be 500 level?
500 level.
It hit a woman's umbrella and went right under my feet, and I couldn't see it.
There was one,
and my buddy next to me picked it up, and fair square. He got it.
I think one home run made the 500 level, and it was Willie Stargell's.
How about that?
And I think it might have been Willie Stargell. It's terrible. Willie Stargell, Dave Parker, and they had a marker for it in the vet. There was a marker for it. So they had the spot where the home run hit. It was either Willie Parker.
Willie Stargell.
Willie Stargell. Pops.
Off of?
No idea.
Jim Bunning.
Okay.
Oh, look at that.
And what year was that?
1971.
And they when you went by, you could see where
I remember it like it was yesterday.
Where it went by.
According to Google AI, obviously always accurate. Willie Stargell, longest home run.
No, it was absolutely the longest home run.
It was 601, apparently. Was the section.
Oh,
so it's the only one that hit the six. It's the only one that hit the 600
level. It was a 458-foot blast. The next one's Jay Johnstone.
Wow.
Richie Hebner.
Wow.
Von Hayes. Leon Durham. Another Von Hayes, and Fred McGriff.
Wow.
There you go. How about that?
There you go.
You didn't think you'd tune in and hear the longest home runs hit Veterans Stadium.
Amazing.
But you did. All right, coming up next. We'll get more voice memos, your chance to get a spot and knockout. But also, we're talking a lot about Fandom today. And one thing that is interesting nowadays is when guys are struggling, our reactions. Kind of like a standing ovation for Trey Turner. The Eagles have a problem right now with a player that's struggling that fans and the Eagles clearly can't let go of. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
I know this is that we've been in a house now just around 5 years, and I could already use a bagster, the dumpster in a bag. Liv got on a plane this morning to go to Utah to start a new life, and just going through stuff of her quarters upstairs when she would visit us. She didn't even live with us full time. We could have had the junk in the house that we went through. We could have filled probably a quarter of a bagster And then we probably got junk that we've got in the house that we could throw into a Bagster too. The Bagster's so easy, and it's just $29.99. You set up a Bagster, the 3 cubic yard dumpster in a bag, sold at Home Depot, Lowe's, and local home improvement stores. It's easy. You set it up, no time constraints. You fill it up, you schedule the collection, and it'll be gone. So then you get the junk out of your house. So we're motivated now. We may get ourselves a Bagster and just go through some stuff and say, okay, what do we really need? Let's not start accumulating junk just because we've got the space in the house. Now, my friend Joe, he's a lost cause. He's been accumulating junk in his house now for going on 30 years. He doesn't care. He's just refusing to get a Bagster, the dumpster in a bag. He could get one this weekend, $29.99. Get it right now. Go get a Bagster, the dumpster in a bag.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Knocking off the Kings. That's what the Sixers and Flyers did last night. It was a great sports night here in Philadelphia as they both found victories. The Flyers won 4-3 via the shootout for their 5th victory in the last 6 games. Matvei Michkov, the shootout winner.
In his career, Matvei Michkov has been good in the shootouts. He'll cut in from the right circle, goes in front, took the shot, he scores! And the Flyers beat the Kings for their 6th straight road win.
And they've needed to get hot at this time of year with the playoffs right around the corner. They'll play the Sharks tomorrow at 4 p.m. That call over on WMMR by Tim Saunders. The Sixers beat their Kings, the Sacramento ones, that is, 139-118. VJ Edgecombe a career-high 38 points in the win. They'll take on the Jazz tomorrow night. The Eagles made a couple of additions yesterday. They signed running back Damian Pierce and tight end Stone Smart. Some offensive depth being added by the Birds. And, of course, it was the first day of the tournament. It was madness, just as advertised. High Point upsets Wisconsin. VCU upsets UNC. Texas upsets BYU. Check your brackets, folks. And unfortunately, if you had Penn winning, they lost to Illinois. This update is brought to you by Odoo.com. All your business apps in one place. Running a business is hard enough. Odoo makes it easier with one simple, all-in-one platform. Start today at Odoo.com. That's Odoo. ODOO.com. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic.
97.5 The Fanatic Philadelphia. More of Kincade and Salciunas coming your way now.
I can't say shame on us. It's shame on you, Connor.
I know.
We have another birthday of the Kincade and Salciunas family that we have to celebrate. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going over to Jersey today for my dog's birthday. Shout out Bolt. He turns 9 today.
9th birthday
Bolt's
for
9
Bolt.
today.
Yeah, how about that, man?
Yeah. I love that you do that for a dog.
Yeah,
like,
he's the best.
I said, I tell you, I said we put my daughter on a plane this morning for her new life in Utah, and watching my daughter and her dog last night just
I bet, dude,
messed me up. Her and Nikki, just her cuddling with the dog.
I saw this from a mile away. John tried playing Harry Hardo earlier this week. I was like, dude.
Yeah, it was hard.
Every day we get closer.
It was hard.
And I'm
hard.
I'm feeling
She's
for you.
Excited,
I'm feeling for you both today.
Now, but look, is that my whole thing is don't be selfish as far as your kid's going on a great adventure.
Yeah.
Don't be. But now my kid's going to be living 2,100 miles away.
Looking for a Mormon husband.
Don't give me that crap, especially with that Mormon Wives show, which really went off the rails yesterday.
She'll be on the next season.
She'll be on the next. No, believe me though. Don't put it past her. So
it's a long flight, but hey, there might be a guy in town that we might want to swap that plane ticket for.
Could be.
The guy we're going to talk about here.
What are you trying to produce the show here?
Just a little bit.
By the way, before we get to Mr. Elliott, let's check out the poll. Dr. Avidan Appel. It's 4 hours strong every morning here on Kincade and Salciunas. Sometimes you need a little help. Dr. Avidan Appel and Iron Mountain Men's Health are there. What do we got?
All right, so our poll is dealing with how you feel about this pact we're creating. Are you willing to sign up for a whatever happens pact with the rest of the Sixers and Flyers seasons where you can watch what happens without expectations? 49% of responders are saying yes.
Okay. Wow.
23% are saying no. 23% are saying yes, but just for the Flyers. And only 5% are saying just for the Sixers.
Yeah, the just the Sixers should have the least amount.
Who's doing that with just the Sixers?
I don't know.
Who's giving the Sixers that kind of grace?
I'm not sure.
The Sixers do not deserve that grace.
Both, fine. Just Sixers and not Flyers.
That's ridiculous.
I find
that's absurd.
I imagine the just Sixers are the people who are like, hey, if they get a path through the East, maybe something there's more of a payoff potentially in the ceiling. But I've got to squint to try and make.
But if anything, if we're talking about putting expectations aside, you should not have expectations for the Flyers. If we're
the Flyers don't the Flyers shouldn't have any expectations
I'm happy
on
with
them.
every win and every day we do the standing check-in. I'm happy that this morning we were able to do that for the second straight day because they won back-to-back games, this time in a shootout. Overtime 2 nights ago, shootout last night. I'm excited that we were able to do that.
One of our fine listeners, the guy listens every single day. He'll email me on some Flyer stuff, and he goes, "The only thing I'm going to disagree with you, John, on is this team should have been expected to make the playoffs this year." And I'm just like, I couldn't disagree with you more. This team should not have been expected to be a playoff team this year.
That's why the conversation over the Flyers is so different from
completely
one person
different.
to the other.
Yeah.
And again, it's the beauty of sports, man.
It's what people put the expectation.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so part of our topic about fandom today and how we've changed, and it seems like we're letting people off the hook.
Oh, yeah.
Certain times.
We
not
let him
not
off the
all
hook.
time.
Remember? What was that? Dennis Green, right?
That was Dennis Green.
We let him off the hook.
Is Jake Elliott being let off the hook more by fans or the Eagles?
The Eagles. The Eagles are honestly on this. The Eagles are pathetic.
I just don't
on this.
get it.
They're pathetic. The explanation is pathetic. It's pathetic.
Yesterday, when we were on the air, his contract got restructured, and we were wondering, all right, what does this lead to? And then Jeff McClain put out a post, really not long after the news, saying that he's here. All right, he is the kicker of the Philadelphia Eagles. Howie Roseman talked him up. Strong endorsement back in, January, whatever. He had that press conference. A lot of people were wondering, is there going to be competition? Could you draft a kicker toward the end of the draft? They love Jake Elliott despite 2 straight bad seasons.
The worst.
He had a very good playoff in 24, but
you got to say
not last year.
You got to say though, the worst kicker in the NFL the last 2 years. It's not saying bad season. The worst season. The Eagles have the worst kicker in the NFL.
And that's
over 2
fact.
years.
Like that is statistics.
Not opinion,
right?
It's fact.
And so yesterday, Tim McManus was on with our man Bill Colarulo. Ricky had the Thursday flu. Day one of the tour, he flew. Here was Bill Colarulo with Tim McManus yesterday. T-Mac talking about what the Eagles should do at kicker and his feelings toward what they are doing.
I think so, because it's a decent number. It's around $4 million now that is guaranteed for him. I'll be honest with you, Bill, I don't like it. Elliott has been awesome, obviously, for this franchise. Huge moments, really steady for a lot of years, but the last couple of years have looked different for him, and it's been a little shaky. There's a chance that he just sort of gets back into his normal groove and he's rocking, and this proves out to be no big deal, but there is definitely another scenario out there where the trend continues from the last 2 seasons, and people are pretty agitated in this city because they've kind of committed themselves to a kicker that has shown signs that maybe he's not as steady as he once was.
It makes no sense. And look,
not as steady as he once was. Look, Tim McManus is such a kind person.
Well, he said it was a bad idea to.
No, but listen to even how Tim McManus says it at the end.
Okay.
Not as steady as he once was. He's the worst kicker in the NFL. He's not as steady as he once was. He's the worst. There's nobody worse. And they're recommitting to it. There was nobody worse a year ago, and they did it for a second year, saying, we're bringing him back. It's got to be better.
And he understood,
and it was
he
worse.
had the great playoff, and you're like, okay. And then last year was worse. And, oh, by the way, as we've pointed out a couple of times, if he makes an extra point, you're a field goal away from going to overtime against the 9.
But this even plays to it there. And you know how much I love Tim. But this even plays to it here. Tim, just even talking about the story. It's so kind. It's so gentle. It's so because of the reverence that you have for the career of Jake Elliott. You can talk about both stories. And you can say Jake Elliott, the person, Jake Elliott, the Super Bowl champion, and then you can say Jake Elliott, the worst kicker in the NFL the last 2 years. It's all real. They're all the same person. You just got to tell every bit of the story.
Now, the Philly Cheese on the YouTube chat saying Green Bay has the worst kicker, hands down. Lost Packers 3 games. That was their backup, right?
That was their backup.
Jake Elliott. We're talking about like
this is their and by the way, they'll get a regular kicker this year.
Right, and oh, by the way, other kickers that were statistically as bad as Jake Elliott, like Younghoe Koo, they got released.
Correct.
Right, like
twice, I think.
Yeah, I think he played for 3 teams last year.
Then he played Jets. Falcons.
I think Giants.
Giants
for the
as well.
Giants. Remember he like stubbed his toe on the ground?
Yeah, he like chunked the kick, which I've never seen before.
So there are worst kickers, but in terms of a guy that's on the team that's getting paid, because Jake Elliott's getting paid a decent amount for a kicker in the NFL, it's bad. He has been a bad kicker the last 2 seasons, and it's strange that the Eagles of all teams are doing it. Look, if the Phillies wanted to keep guys that were underperforming, oh, wait, that's like 4 years in a row. That's one thing. But, like, the Eagles don't do that. The Eagles don't typically do hopefully he bounces back in year 3 of a 2-year decline.
Maybe this was like Howie Roseman's cheat day, because we've talked about how after 2017, 2018, he gave out all the thank you contracts.
Maybe.
And he learned from that, and he did not do that the next time around. Maybe this is a little, hey, 10 for you, 1 for me. I want Jake Elliott.
But he didn't give this guy a thank you contract. He has been under contract, right? Like, he has been under contract. They could try to find a way to move on by just straight up outright releasing him, and they're not going to do it.
I can't.
They have a lot of faith in him. Man.
I truly can't believe it. I thought for sure you're going into this season again. You're doing this again.
Big Tasty on Twitter. Technically, it was Matt Gay who was the worst kicker last year. Even if we're doing technically, he's bad. Like Jake Elliott, 77% from the field in 2024.
He can't even make 50-yard field goals at like a 50% rate.
Last year,
That's
from
terrible.
50, he was 4 of 8. He was 74% altogether last year. So it dipped again. There's no reason for it.
He's due?
Yeah, I don't get it. But
No,
there's
terrible.
I guess it's how things have changed. All right, what else we got? Text or voicemail? What do you got for us, Connor?
We have a check-in here on the text line. This texter saying if an Eagles quarterback performed back-to-back years like that, they would be moved on from so fast. I can't believe they're doing this with a kicker. This is insane.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like kickers are a dime a dozen. You could find another one. I get it. You have the elite of the elite. But Jake Elliott is no longer that.
He's not.
It's just the way that it is. And the text is right on the Davis Honda text line. Feel the Davis difference. Davis Honda in Burlington. If Jalen Hurts had back-to-back bad years, the Eagles would be doing everything they could. The Eagles, I'm not talking about other teams. The Eagles would be doing everything they could to try to move. Hello, Carson Wentz.
Absolutely would.
They would do whatever they could to move on from the guy. When Jalen Hurts had that first-year season, remember the rumors?
They were still shopping.
They tried trading for people. They were going to sign people.
They looked at Russell Wilson. They looked and looked at the Russell Wilson thing.
Yeah.
But this one, they're just upset. And
it's weird.
It cost you a playoff game. They should have at least gone to overtime. It cost you a playoff game because he couldn't make an extra point. I mean, it's bad. So bad.
Don't forget, best voice memo of the day will earn a spot in Knockout. Knockout 5 days from now. Next week's going to be a busy week. Coming up next, how long will it take until there's a post saying I was taken out of context? A former Eagle finally feels wanted. Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Oh, it's all about live betting on the BetParx app, but you know what else it's all about? It's all about hoops hysteria. It's going to be the Hoops Mania watch parties are continuing through Sunday at Parx Casino, the place to watch all the action. I will be there today. Can't wait to watch the games there. First game today, 12:15, Kentucky, a favorite against Santa Clara. Tonight, Missouri and University of Miami. Villanova plays at 4 o'clock today. Don't miss it. St. John's tonight against Northern Iowa. I think that's going to be a pretty good team to watch during the tourney of St. John's. Get some skin in the game. You can bet all the action if you're there at Parx Casino, or you can bet on the online Sportsbook app, which is so much fun. You can be there with me, though, today, and a bunch of other people, too, like Mark Jackson from NBC Sports Philadelphia, Coach Jimmy Lynam, Joe Conklin, D. Lynam. It's going to be a great, great time, and it all starts at noon at Parx Casino in Ben Salem. You know who else you'll see? John Marks and Sean Brace will be there, too. I think Ray Dunn's even making the trip. BetParx.com has all the details for you. I'm looking forward to a big day, some hoops, some fun. Play the BetParx human slot machine. You can win Iverson and Maxey signed jerseys and basketballs. Got to be 21 in Pennsylvania, Jersey, Maryland, or Michigan. Should you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Keep it locked into 97.5. Salciunas, Philly Sports Talk, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
All right, incredible update on something we just kind of mentioned earlier when we were talking about Sean Rodman being the furry of the station here. We also talked a little bit about Dylan McKinnon. And John and I were complimenting Dylan on his awesome Phillies jacket that he had yesterday. Blue with the blue with some white stripes.
Like it was like a varsity jacket.
Right, that fabric.
It's
what's
beautiful.
That, felt? Is that I don't know.
Not felt.
What fabric
No,
would that
it's like
be? I don't know.
but it's a beautiful jacket.
Johnny,
it's really nice.
He walks in with a jacket.
Here's another one.
It's reversible.
Wait a minute. The same jacket he wore yesterday?
Yes.
Yeah, the other side is like the windbreaker type of material.
Dude, it's awesome.
Okay,
I've never seen a reversible item that's actually cool.
Here's what I want to know, though, is how in the world is Dylan McKinnon he has a style. He's styling for a guy. I think Dylan is one of those very complicated people because he goes from being completely stylish to no style.
Yes.
And most people that I know that are like, dude, the no style thing, stay no style. But Dylan really can style it up whenever he wants to. Like he can do, he's like a chameleon. Like he may be CIA.
He could be.
Dylan may be in the CIA. I'm not sure. I'm not making that accusation, but he very well might be in the CIA.
Yeah, reversible jacket. It's cool. Like a cool reversible jacket. I remember like as a kid, there was like reversible shorts and stuff.
I don't even know where Dylan finds this stuff. That's what I don't understand. Like it's
probably
like
it's your city, it's your house.
No,
it's
but that
jacket.
That jacket yesterday, we all said, "Oh man, look at that jacket."
Sports Swag's the best, man.
It was awesome.
I saw our YouTube chat earlier today, going back and forth about like the old jerseys, like the Vancouver Grizzlies, right? The Hornets back in the day, like the starter jackets. They just got in a random conversation on YouTube, and I was enjoying following along, even though we didn't talk about it on the air. All right. So yesterday was interesting. Reed Blankenship, our old buddy, had his, I guess, Zoom press conference, or was it just an interview? Do you guys know where it was
seemed
from?
like an interview, but he was he did do that too, but it was also answering questions and answers.
Okay, so this was Reed Blankenship talking about his excitement signing with the Houston Texans.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I just wanted a team to want me. Like I was undrafted. I felt like as an undrafted guy, no team really wants you. I mean, you're just kind of just put on a team, and then if you make it, you make it. If you don't, you're just another statistic. Like I said, I really think that Houston wanted me and had this sense of calmness with it. And I don't know, I feel really different about this place. It's a different sort of edge. I feel like to my career, and I feel like I'm gonna have a lot of fun down in Houston.
Social media was split 50-50 on this yesterday.
I feel really different about this place. There's certain wording of it that was really, to me, I can understand why people would have different feelings about it. Like, to me, I feel the Eagles wanted you. Nobody wanted you. The Eagles wanted you. The Eagles gave you a chance.
See, that's...
The Eagles gave you a chance.
The way I took it is how he explained himself, like, hey, I got undrafted. So this is the first time a team was like, we want to sign you. Like, No, it was the second. You.
I was thinking when he was saying that, I'm going, no, it was the second time, Reed. Nobody drafted you. The Eagles wanted you. It was as if he was adopted by the Eagles. The Eagles adopted him. Nobody drafted him. He was adopted. The Eagles sought him out and adopted him. I can't imagine that I just thought it was poorly worded.
I think he's going to put out an Instagram post or a Twitter post in the next couple of days saying what I meant.
I hope he does.
I don't think he's saying screw the Eagles.
No.
There were a lot of people upset yesterday on social media yesterday. No, not that.
I think he was pandering to Houston.
Well, yeah, you are. You're always going to do that when you first
you don't have to. You don't have to.
But like Eagles Fan Central, I saw a tweet. I liked it just so I could have it for the content. Bro, the Eagles signed you undrafted in 22, elevated you to a starter in 23, extended you with guaranteed money in 24, and voted you as a team captain in 2025. I don't think he was saying that the Eagles didn't want me. I think he's saying this is the first time that there was a market for me where somebody said, I want Reed Blankenship.
But here again, this is not the first time. There was a market for him. Everybody picked over and nobody wanted him. Nobody drafted him. And then the Eagles picked him. The Eagles gave him an opportunity. The Eagles are the team. They did do that for him. They already did that.
Yeah, but I can get how it feels different getting a free agent contract versus undrafted free agent guy who's supposed to be kind of a camp body. Like, I understand the feel. I just think he worded it poorly.
Like, if you're talking about adding money, like it's about money, then sure. Yeah, I guess so. It's about money that he's got his first big money payday, if that's what it's about.
Yeah, I think, look, the Phillies picked, or the Eagles signed him, right? Undrafted free agent. I don't know what the market was for Reed Blankenship. Forgive me. I don't know what Reed Blankenship's agent, how many phone calls he took after the draft in 2022.
Correct.
The Eagles may have been literally the only team that said, sure, let's give this guy a shot. I think what he's saying is, this is how I'm taking it, and I'm telling you, he's going to probably put out a statement.
And
Houston wanted him.
I don't believe for 1 second that he was saying screw Philly or anything like that.
No, I don't think so.
I think he was going over the top to pander to Houston.
Sure.
And he probably had watched a lot of Bryce Harper videos.
Name me the player that hasn't done that.
I thought maybe he did he didn't do that. There's a lot of players that don't.
Worst one all time, Javon Hargrave.
Yeah.
When he signed with the 49ers and said, yeah, they were the better team in the NFC Championship game. Worst pandering of all time. I hate Javon Hargrave because of it.
Yeah, that's a gig. Like,
I've rooted for his demise since then, and he got released again recently.
Yeah, you break up with a hot girlfriend, you start dating a new girl. Maybe she's not as pretty, but you're not going to tell her, hey, you're my second prettiest girlfriend. And
yeah, but you can also say I had a great time with that other girlfriend, but
no, you don't do that.
This one's even better.
You don't do that. No, you don't do that.
When clearly, you move on somewhere new or someone new.
Hey, Christy, I had listen, man. There's some great times. All right. What do we got on the text line? The Davis Honda text line.
Hopefully nothing on that.
Friday,
keep
baby.
You out of trouble.
Friday.
Couple of people checking in. We talked about earlier on in the show the Philadelphia athlete on the Jared McCain scale of getting rid of someone too early, young players. Matt from Ontario checks in and says getting rid of Sergei Bobrovsky was a big mistake. We may have had a cup if he stuck around.
That one might actually be worse than Jared McCain.
That
one's worse than Jeremy.
It's far worse.
That one was really, really, really bad. That they just gave up on him, man. A lot of times it's the guys that are blocked. They're blocked by positions elsewhere. That one was a bad one. All right, coming up next. Do you realize how big next week will be in Philadelphia sports? It's a big week for a start to a season. It's also a big week to keep some others alive. So we'll reset today's topics. More text messages. We'll get more on the voice memos. But also, how big next week is in Philadelphia. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
It was a big night last night, too, Andrew. The Phillies, they're getting ready next week, and the Eagles are in their offseason, but the Sixers and Flyers are currently making a playoff push, and they both happen to be playing the Kings last night. Both found victories. The Flyers won 4-3 via the shootout for their fifth victory in the last 6 games as they try and make their playoff push. They're heating up, and they play the Sharks tomorrow at 4 p.m. to try and keep that rolling. The Sixers beat the Sacramento Kings 139-118. VJ Edgecombe taking over.
Outside right, Edgecombe for 3 and a new career high, 36 points. VJ Edgecombe with his third 3. The Sixers 15 of 30 from beyond.
Great call by Tom McGinnis right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. They'll play the Jazz tomorrow night. The Eagles made a couple of additions yesterday in free agency. They signed running back Damian Pierce and tight end Stone Smart, adding some offensive depth. And the first day of the tournament saw some big-time upsets with High Point beating Wisconsin, VCU beating UNC, Texas beating BYU. Unfortunately, Penn was not part of the upset party. They lost to Illinois. This update is brought to you by Papa John's, introducing new pan pizza from Papa John's. Order a medium one-topping pan pizza, just $11.99 when you download the Papa John's app or at papajohns.com. Better ingredients, better pizza. That is Papa John's. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Kincade and Salciunas.
The core group of your friends, it's either the guys that you've known forever or it's the people that you probably have the most relationships with in terms of you see things the same way, whether it's politically or life-wise or just appreciation of being a parent or all that kind of stuff. That's kind of how we all get older. But sports doesn't matter. I don't think you become friends with somebody because you see sports the same.
I think we're tribal in sports. We tend to congregate amongst the people that we choose to support and root for. But I see the tribes far differently depending on what your age group is. I think you guys as fans are completely different fans. You two are different. You're relatively the exact same age.
Yes.
But you guys are completely different fans.
It's because I'm wiser than Connor. I'm a little older.
Than I am. And the fans that I grew up with don't resemble you guys at all. And our parents don't resemble us at all. So it's like there's an evolution of a fan base. I think now as a fan base of this city, we're no longer Philly fans. You have to be identified by each different fan base because we got like split personality.
John's right. The whole term of Philadelphia fans,
it doesn't apply.
It's the umbrella. You all remember the umbrella when you used to write papers in high school, right? Then there's multiple different paragraphs.
We are fans of Philadelphia teams, all of us. But the fan bases are completely different to me. It's like they speak foreign language. Like I don't even resemble them, some of them. I can't even understand how one is like the other. They're from the same city.
Now back to the show.
All right. It is 9 a.m. on this payday Friday, day 2 of the NCAA tournament. Make sure if you're looking for a spot to hang out and watch some games, you want to see Johnny Marks and Sean Brace and Ray Dunn, you can. Johnny, tell them about that establishment in Ben Salem.
Yeah, we're going to be at Bet Parks Sportsbook today. It's the Parks Casino Sportsbook. Look forward to seeing you there. John and Sean and everything. Is Ray going to be there with them?
I believe he will.
Okay, well, then that'll be a broadcast from 10 to 2 today. I will be out there this afternoon watching the early games, too. So come on out. Look forward to seeing you out there. It's going to be a great, great time. By the way, Allen Iverson and Tyrese Maxey signed basketballs, jerseys.
That's awesome.
You can autograph to win and autograph stuff to win. Plus, there's competitions. You can win other great prizes. It'll be fun.
And you love the sports book there.
The sports book is the best sports book, and look, how about this? It's better than many of the Vegas sports books.
And you would know.
Yes.
Johnny Vegas over there.
It's better than many of the Vegas sports books, let's put it that way. There's many of the Vegas casinos do not have the same one.
So go see John, Sean, Ray, 10 to 2 at Parks. They're doing the show as the tournament continues today. Amy Fadul, the Fighting Faduls, Kentucky, the first tip today. They got the first game. And I hope she can watch it because I know they're making the drive up to Penn State for a basketball.
State College, yes.
For a basketball tournament. Horrible timing. By the way, I mentioned the tweet from Big Tasty earlier today.
Big Tasty. Big Tasty's that's an aggressive nickname.
It is.
Like you're a confident man with
right,
Big Tasty.
Man. I love Big Tasty. He says, gentlemen, it's been a while since I tweet to the show. I miss listening to you guys regularly in the morning when I used to work morning shift at Wawa. So he doesn't have the same shift to be able to listen as much. But he says, I still love the content. And thanks for being a source when I talk to friends about sports. So it seems like some of our talking points go to the bars.
We appreciate
to the bars
that.
with Big Tasty.
Appreciate that.
It's nice when you get nice things sent about you every once in a while.
It is nice.
It's nice, especially on a Friday.
We appreciate it. And the folks at Wawa, great stuff.
Oh, damn right. Damn right. All right. Here's what we've been talking about this morning. We've been talking about us, the fans. Why are we different with different teams? Why have we changed? And for some of it, we've talked about for the better. But there's also been changes like not being as critical. I get it, like not ripping a guy for having a bad game because you think that they'll bounce back the next game. But some bigger stuff like quitting on your team in the middle of a playoff game.
Yeah, not giving full effort and things like that.
Getting suspended and not being eligible for the playoffs, but still getting a standing ovation when returning. That's, of course, Jose Alvarado. So if you're tired of just the A.J. Brown stuff, there's been other examples recently, right?
All's forgiven stuff. I truly don't get it.
Dude, shame on me for wanting James Harden back after he and Embiid just disappeared the final 5 minutes of Game 6 and all of Game 7 against the Celtics, but I still wanted him back.
Which I didn't understand either.
Best point guard he's ever played with. There was a reason. It wasn't just because of my love for James Harden.
The thing is, though, what I didn't understand is the history.
I know. And the history will continue. It'll continue in Cleveland.
What do you know? What do you know with James Harden?
Right, that he disappears.
It's just it's so strange to me.
So what do we got on the Davis Honda text line? Feel the Davis difference. Check them out, Davis Honda Burlington, 610-632-0975. You can leave a voice memo as well. Best voice memo today gets a spot in Knockout 5 days from now. What do we got?
Yeah, so we have a lot of people checking in on this Philadelphia fan discussion, saying this texter checking in. I noticed the difference in fan bases today compared to when I was growing up. Mentions 80s and 90s.
Okay.
And I don't think it's just the stadium. I do think it's the overconsumption of sports, a lot more to watch, and maybe that steals people's interest from other teams.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's interest. It's
the way they
reaction.
It's the reaction. It's the way that the all's forgiven stuff. Like I can tell you this: there would never be acceptance of look, Charlie Manuel, and I wish we could just have Charlie come and have a conversation with us on the topic. Charlie Manuel took one of the greatest handful of players in Phillies history and yanked him off the field for not giving full effort. And we all love Jimmy Rollins. We all love him. But what Jimmy Rollins did was far less egregious as far as lack of effort than what we saw out of A.J. Brown. And to me, it was, and nobody ripped Charlie Manuel for it.
The other thing we
applauded it. We applauded it, that he was holding a star player accountable. We applauded it. We said, that's great. Nobody's above the team.
And what's interesting, and
now
and
it's like, don't criticize AJ.
This is societal. We have also allowed the lack of holding players accountable by coaches.
Oh, yes.
So I remember a few years ago.
That's a great point.
Thank you. Usually come up with one.
That's
one
a great.
day.
Connor's been on a bender, buddy.
You've been on a heater.
I've given Connor like 7 compliments this week.
A couple years ago,
don't count on.
I think it was Jalen's first year as a starter, and obviously Nick was the head coach.
Sure.
And there was a moment where Nick yelled at Jalen on the sideline, and people were upset with it. Like, how could he do that? I'll go another random moment. Connor and I were actually talking about this yesterday. When Tom Izzo yelled at a freshman probably 6 or 7 years ago, 8 years, I forget. It was within the last 10 years. Tom Izzo yelled at a freshman. And people were like, how dare he do that? He's embarrassing him on national television. And it's like,
what?
He's been doing that his whole, like,
Tom Izzo's been doing that forever.
That's not the first freshman that Tom Izzo's yelled at, and it ain't going to be the last freshman that Tom Izzo's yelled at. But people in society, like I'm talking about not Philadelphia. This is Michigan State. This is national television. People were upset by it. Why is that?
I remember when the ACC tournament came to Atlanta, and I got to sit on Media Row, where I had never sat so close for Coach K and Gary Williams.
Okay.
On like a Friday night or a Saturday afternoon, semifinal game. I was right closer to Gary Williams then. Gary Williams at Maryland, local guy. He had an assistant coach on the bench. And I'm like, on Friday's game, I'm like, why is he always yelling at his assistant coach? And he goes, he's not yelling at his assistant coach. One of the Maryland beat writers goes, he's yelling at the officials. But Gary Williams would turn and yell at his assistant coach, but he'd be cursing out the official.
Right.
And it was a F this. I mean, between Coach K, so on Saturday, I'm shifted down, and I get a dose of Coach K. Those two were two of the biggest foul-mouthed pirates I have ever heard in my life, and the kids were getting a good dose of it. And you know what those kids did? They were attentive and they loved playing for. They would today tell you how much they loved playing for those men.
And by the way, we're not talking about Bobby Knight.
No,
grabbing,
they're not beating him,
that kind of stuff.
By the way, Mike Krzyzewski, Bobby Knight disciple and one of his biggest fans.
Right, but there is people get upset when they see a coach yell at a player or something. Here's another random one. This isn't Philadelphia. When Gabe Kapler had a back and forth with a player on the mound. And then they eventually went into the dugout to hash things out, right? Which that's probably not the first time that's ever happened either. A baseball manager taking a player to the dugout because they don't want it on camera. But because it was caught on camera, it was embarrassing for the player. And it's like, well, no, he showed up his manager on the mound.
Yes.
Like, people celebrated when, what's his face? Everybody wants him because he pitches in Japan now. What the hell's his name? Bauer.
Trevor Bauer.
Trevor Bauer, yeah.
Well, he
remember when Trevor Bauer threw the baseball?
Oh, yeah, out of center
and
field.
it was like, yeah, way to show up Francona. It's like, that's bad. Like, don't do that.
Like, don't do that.
Don't, like,
why
don't
is that?
do
Like,
that.
it's like it's
Is
somehow
it we don't like people that make rules? Like, is that like what is it? Like, why is that all of a sudden a bad thing?
I don't know. It's just authority is handled differently in modern sports in the modern world
because they make a lot of money. That's the other thing. A lot of money. Like a lot of times, it's
but I like again. The unsportsmanlike and things like that. And I'm not talking about, I am somebody who is for somebody with gray hair, I am an odd advocate of, like, I get emails from people that say, I can't believe you and the bat flips. I love the bat flips. I love the Dominican Republic players. I love the influence of younger players in baseball making the game more loose and light. And it's like I'll get emails from people going, that's totally counter to what I think you'd be. I'm so shocked at that. But I love the emotion in the game. Now, I don't want somebody making a clown show of the game, but I don't consider that. Look, if you hit a home, you did it. Have some fun. Get the crowd fired up.
Now, let me ask you, because completely against that point, when the NFL started flagging players more for personal fouls, for like taunting.
Because that hurts your team. Because then you're hurting your team. There's nothing in baseball that gives you
if your next guy gets drilled and gets hurt, you're hurting your team.
They're not. Well, if somebody's playing Cro-Magnon man baseball and they're doing that, the times that you could point to that happening are extremely few.
It's not happening as much anymore, considering it's now more okay. Like, look, Josh Naylor, who plays for the Mariners, he got traded during the deadline last year. He's the guy when he was playing for the Guardians. He hit the home run. He was doing the baby thing, like I'm your daddy.
I'm rocking the baby, yeah.
And like, okay, like that guy probably deserves a fastball.
Right.
Up and in. You know what I mean? Because he's showing up the pitcher, not calling him his dad.
The thing is, you can taunt, and to me, I've never understood this. You guys might have a different opinion. If you pimp a home run, there's a difference between pimping a home run where you do. The other night, Bryce Harper pimped a home run.
Yes, and it was awesome.
Completely pimped a home run. I thought it was a great show of emotion and fun. And I was like, holy gosh, this is Bryce Harper who lectures other players on doing things the right way. I was like, wow, maybe we're seeing a change.
Yeah.
I don't consider that showing up the pitcher.
No, he didn't grab his crotch at the pitcher.
I don't consider that showing up the pitcher. And people do, though. I have friends who are baseball guys who say he's showing up the pitcher. I say ridiculous.
Yeah, don't give up a bomb.
Correct. Don't throw the meatball. He's celebrating his accomplishment at that point. Now, if he looks at the pitcher, if he takes his bat and goes,
yeah, right, exactly. That's different.
That is different. Like if you look at the Rhys Hoskins bat spike.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
it
was spectacular. Rhys looked a little bit at Strider. Little bit, if you look at a little bit of a look at Strider.
Probably watching the trajectory of the ball.
Could have been. You can't tell.
He probably saw me standing up there.
But they never responded. Braves never responded.
No, because they understood the emotion.
It's also
they understood the emotion.
Series. It's harder to do it.
But they also never understood the emotion of it.
All right.
But remember, that game got out of hand. They could have responded.
Yeah.
That game got out of hand. They could have.
They also knew there was 45,000 lunatics.
That's awesome.
Screaming at them. All right. We have a big week next week. So today's Friday. Everybody enjoy your Friday. Day 2 of the NCAA tournament. Obviously, that continues next week as well. But for Philadelphia, we have a big, big, big stretch coming up next week. One, we have the start of the season, right? Phillies open up the season next week. Opening day on Thursday, 4 o'clock. Game 2 will be on Saturday. You're Mr. Meteorologist, so how we looking weather-wise next? I know it's supposed to rain early in the week. Are we clear blue skies?
I'm going to give you the look. Hopefully, we're going to have a really good week. I'm telling you. Adam Joseph has told me I can fill in sometime. That's okay. This is what's the great news. Opening day, 60 degrees, partly cloudy, 60 degrees with little chance of rain.
For Thursday?
For Thursday.
Ooh, I'm seeing 46 the high.
60 the high.
We got
46,
reports.
46 on Friday is the high with rain on Friday. 48 on Saturday. That's cold.
So go to the Thursday game.
That's cold.
Don't go to the one Saturday.
Yeah, right now 60 and Friday rain and then Saturday 48. Sunday back up to 57 though.
Okay.
So it's like a quick bounce around. Look, I'm fine. I'm fine with 48. The players aren't that fine with it.
Yeah.
But I'm fine with 48.
You can dress up.
You can dress up for that.
Point being,
by the way, 48 and sunny.
Yeah, I'll take that.
I'm fine with that.
Point being, the season starts, right? And next week we're going to have a lot of fun with like daily baseball topics. We're going to do, futures bets and over-unders and all that fun stuff that leads you up to opening day on Thursday. Can't wait. W's and L's all 162. But the other reason why next week is so big, the Flyers and Sixers, again, both winners last night. They both beat Kings. L.A. Kings on the ice, the Sacramento Kings on the hardwood. And if you look at the standings, the Sixers will be in at least, we know for a fact, a play-in game. Like, we know that is happening. But we don't know if they can avoid the play-in game. They got to start piling up some wins. They are currently, Johnny, 2 games back of the 5th-seeded Raptors. That's the highest you could get to. You're not going to reach the Cavs. You're 5 games back of them. They're the 4th seed. You could get to the Raptors. You are a half game back of the Hawks, who are the 6th seed. You mentioned it earlier.
I think you can catch them. They're on such a heater. They're bound to cool off.
But even if they jump the Raptors, you could catch the Raptors as the 6th seed, right? That is a possibility. The Flyers are currently 5 points out of a playoff spot right now. It's the final spot in the Metro Division. You're 6 back of the final wild card spot. So the Flyers are still in contention. And the reason why it's so big, you've got some winnable games for both these teams. All right? The Sixers, even without Joel Embiid and Paul George and Tyrese Maxey, they should win again tomorrow night against the Jazz. The Jazz are literally trying to lose so much that they're getting fined for it, right? Like, they are losing money. That's how much they're trying to lose.
Liv has been looking at the spot going, Dad, because she's going to live 3.5 blocks to the stadium.
She'll be there by tomorrow, right?
She'll be there today.
Yeah, today.
3.5 blocks to the stadium. She goes, Dad, some nights the tickets on the secondary app are $5.50.
Well, and because Embiid's out, she could probably get a ticket for $1 tomorrow.
Tomorrow the Sixers are in.
Yeah, Sixers are in Utah tomorrow.
There you go.
Like, Embiid's not playing, we think. Most likely not. So she can get a ticket for $1. Sixers should win that game. All right? Then you're going to lose to the Thunder at home. Sorry. Spoiler alert.
You never know.
Jared McCain's going to go off for 50 points. They're going to lose to the Thunder Monday night. And then it's knockout night, which is at least the return of Paul George. I'm expecting Embiid to be back soon.
Okay.
Because they did the doubtful yesterday to out, whereas it's been out the last couple of days. So in the timeline of Joel Embiid, we finally saw a bit of an uptick. We went from out to doubtful to eventually out, but at least doubtful. That's a good sign. That means we're heading in the right direction. That means there's a chance that he's back soon.
Listen to how pathetic we've got.
And then eventually Maxey will be back.
It's amazing.
If they start piling up wins against teams that they should beat the Jazz. They should beat the Bulls. All right, you're way ahead of the Bulls in the standings as well. This is even without some of your other guys. And if you can sneak a win with the Hornets or Heat, you're right there. You're tied with the Heat record-wise. You're 2 games up of the Hornets. Hornets been playing good basketball.
Correct.
But they're still a 10th seed. Like, let's face it, they're still a 10th seed. They don't play defense. You should be able to pile up a couple more wins before you get the band back together. That's Sixers.
Yep.
And then the Flyers, and by the way, these games next week, Sixers, it's Monday against the Thunder, Wednesday against the Bulls, Saturday against the Hornets.
Flyers, it's a great week because, well, first off, get a win tomorrow at San Jose.
Yeah.
Because San Jose, you had a 3-game California trip, and the worst team you get to play, you've already won the 2 hardest games back-to-back.
Yeah.
So you play San Jose tomorrow night, so tomorrow afternoon, by the way. So take care of San Jose. That would be an amazing road trip.
Be huge.
Like you get 4 points on a 6 potential road trip's great. If they get 6, it really sets you up because Tuesday night,
big.
It's Columbus. You're 5 points behind Columbus. You need to beat Columbus and not let them get a point.
Right. Beat them in regulation.
The other night, you went to overtime with them, you lost. You can't let Columbus get a point. You got to win in regulation against Columbus. Then you got a gimme game with Chicago.
Right.
So, I mean, like, there's a chance you could rattle off 3 wins, and this gets really interesting.
Yeah, and
I
then
mean,
it's
getting
Detroit
really
Saturday night who you're trailing.
How about prime time Saturday night, the whole country watching?
Yeah.
When was the last time the Flyers, honestly?
Oh, it's been a long time. Other than like it's Sidney Crosby Penguins.
Yeah, but that was usually Sunday afternoons.
Sure.
Or Saturday afternoons. This is Saturday night, 8 o'clock, Flyers at Detroit. If they win the next 3 games, first of all, a lot of casual Flyer fans will be like, wow, this team's gotten red hot. They got a chance.
Yeah.
And then you get a primetime Saturday night game. Get after it, boys. And by the way, you hear all the action right here on the Fanatic.
Damn right. And that's why our Dr. Avidan Appel Iron Mountain Men's Health Poll is, would you sign up for a whatever happens pact with the Sixers and Flyers rest of the season? This is all I really wanted at this point, was to be able to get excited in March and April. Can they get to the playoffs? We'll get there.
We'll see.
But the fact that we could spend a couple minutes on March 20th
just dreaming about it,
talking about the Flyers and Sixers' upcoming schedules and pushes for playoffs, like it's been a long time, guys. And we get to finally do that? That's all I'm asking for. The wins would be the added bonus. All right, coming up next, we have to call out some of our own, Johnny.
I love it when we do this.
Fans within this city with a chant that you just cannot do when you lose. It's Kincade Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, let's talk about that Fandom Sportsbook app. Oh, was it busy yesterday? Live betting, pre-game betting, trying to win the next day. FanDuel, in partnership with Valley Forge, is dropping bonus bets into everyone's account for the tournament. All you got to do is opt in to claim your bonus. That's it. Use them for your bracket picks, money lines, spreads, totals, game props, or even same-game parlays. You can bet futures, the teams that you think will make it to the Final Four. You can still make those bets now. Just because the tournament started doesn't mean futures bets go away. You can still make those bets. You can bet the team that you think wins the entire thing. I think it's Michigan. The Kincade Salciunas and Connor bracket has UConn winning. Whoever you think. You can make multiple picks. You can. You might lose a couple of them, but you can. Just visit FanDuel.com/local to learn more. Don't wait. These bonus bets are only available for a limited time. That's FanDuel.com/local. You got to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. Bonus issued as knowledgeable bonus bets that expires 7 days at the receipt. Max bonus $500 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
2 Kings takedowns. I'm Connor Thomas, and it was a great night for Philadelphia sports as both the Sixers and Flyers beat the Kings last night. The Flyers won 4-3 via the shootout. It's their 5th victory in the last 6 games, and they've been on a road winning streak as well. Here's what it sounded like with the Matvei Michkov shootout winner.
In his career, Matvei Michkov has been good in the shootouts. He'll cut in for the right circle, goes in front, took the shot, he scores! And the Flyers beat the Kings for their 6th straight road win.
Great call by Tim Saunders over on WMMR. They seem to be heating up at the right time, and they'll play the Sharks tomorrow at 4 p.m. to round out that West Coast road trip. Sixers beat the Sacramento Kings 139-118. BJ Edgecombe, 38, a career high for him in the win. They played the Jazz tomorrow night. The Eagles made a couple of additions yesterday in free agency. Running back Damian Pierce, tight end Stone Smart, both signing deals with the Birds as offensive depth. And the first day of the tourney was incredible. There's depth top to bottom in March Madness. High Point beat Wisconsin. VCU upsetting UNC. Texas upsetting BYU. Unfortunately, Penn State could not find an upset of their own. They lost to Illinois. This update is brought to you by Staples. From posters and presentations to labels and loyalty cards, Staples has all the print to boost your brand. Shop now in store, or you can shop online. Staples, that was easy. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic.
respected college guy to produce. Charity comes in many forms. Kincade Salciunas is back from the break. I wonder what they're going to get into.
The final hour of Kincade Salciunas is presented to you by The Bagster. It's a dumpster in a bag. You can get yours today at Home Depot and Lowe's. You need details? Go to bagster.com.
All right, before we call out some of our own Philadelphians here momentarily, if you're tired of the A.J. Brown stuff, imagine being a Bucks fan and Giannis Antetokounmpo, because this has been like, you're tired of A.J. Brown drama, trade talk, 2 months. Right, because the season ended in January. It's March. You're tired of A.J. Brown talk, 2 months.
It's amazing.
The Giannis, it's been like 3 years of will he be traded, won't he be traded? And then Giannis does the back and forth, I'm not going anywhere.
I don't want to be anywhere.
But then all of a sudden his camp is working the phones. Like, I don't know what Giannis wants. I don't know what the Bucks want. The Bucks have made it pretty clear they want him to be a Buck. Until yesterday, there was a report from Shams that the Bucks want to shut down Giannis because Giannis is playing one night, then he's out for 2 games, then he's back. And because he's Giannis, the nights he's back, they win. And what do teams, when they know they're out of the playoffs at this point of the season, want to do?
Lose. Tank.
They want to lose. Giannis, according to more sources, is refusing to just shut down the season because he doesn't want to, because he wants to play when he is available to play, when he is healthy enough to play. Who knows what this saga leads to? So if you're tired of A.J. Brown, talk to a Bucks fan. What's interesting, Ramona Shelbourne had a big story on this, and I just read it during the commercial break, the blurb that would intrigue you the most. Remember, the Warriors did try to trade for Giannis, and it didn't happen. The Bucks had 2 players of interest: Evan Mobley from the Cavs and VJ Edgecombe from the Sixers. So they were expressing interest. So I'm guessing if there were calls made, I don't know who was making the call. Was it Darryl to Milwaukee?
I think it was.
Or was it Milwaukee to Darryl?
No, I think it was Darryl to Milwaukee that was the deal he was trying. I think that was part of the McCain deal.
See, I thought it was the Kawhi thing that was thanks for telling us that after it didn't happen.
Well, the Kawhi thing I think was real, because that's Darryl.
Sure.
That's his MO. But, man, it's weird.
I was okay not making the trade for Giannis because they got to get younger at some point. And, oh, by the way, Giannis is just as unhealthy as everybody else, it seems.
I was away when
I love Giannis. Love him.
I was away with. I did not want Giannis. I did not want it.
I said no,
and I did not want the. And then now I was away when the Kawhi news broke. What did you guys say?
This is a very. Let's throw this out there to a reporter to make it seem like we were trying something.
You don't believe it? Daryl Morey's history. You don't believe it?
I absolutely. I think I said I don't care. I forget. Maybe those were my words, Connor. It was like, this does nothing for me. Because whether you got him or not, this does nothing for me.
Really? But you didn't. But it seemed like you didn't believe it.
I feel like the story came out to try to maybe smooth things over with fans, and nobody wanted to get smoothed over because everybody was upset with the McCain trade.
Okay.
And if that's true, he misread the market. Again, that goes back to what we talked about before. If there was the intention of making another trade after trading McCain, which I believe that's what they were trying to do.
I think they were. Look, I don't
misread the market.
Though I very much am disappointed in Daryl Morey and what's happened. I am absolutely not going to believe that he's a dope. That he didn't. He wouldn't have just thrown Jared McCain away.
But he kind of did because he misread the market.
No, but I mean, he wouldn't have done that unless he thought he had another deal, and that's just a mistake on his part, a big one. Big mistake.
All right. We got to call out some people in Philadelphia. It did not take place in Philadelphia. I don't know where was the game. Where did Penn and Illinois play?
God, it was so bad. That had to be one of the worst attended games that I've ever seen in NCAA tournament history.
Oh, they were in Greenville, South Carolina, Johnny. It was at the Bon Secours Wellness Arena.
I know where that is. That had to be one of the worst attended games I've ever seen.
There was like 50 people there, and of the 50 was the Penn marching band student section. And at the end of the game, when they were losing, the final score yesterday, 105 to 70. You're down by 35 points as the clock is winding down. It was 103 to 65 when the chant started, I just saw. That's all right. That's okay. You're going to work for us someday because Penn is an Ivy League school.
I don't hate it.
No, I do, and I'm going to tell. I'm going to say something. I'm going to address those students or whoever. Let me, as the elder statesman, to you, because I'm 32, so I'm far older than the students of Penn. Right? I'm here to inform you that your poop does stink. Like when you go to the bathroom and you take a dump, it smells. All right? Don't walk around like your bleep don't stink, and all of a sudden doing this whole. You know what? It's okay that we lost. It's okay that we got beat up by 35 points. Not that anybody was expecting Penn to win. And you're going to start doing chants like that? I think it's weak.
What do you mean?
You're okay with it? I think it's weak.
It's completely weak.
I think it's fine. They're an Ivy League school that was very, very they're the underdog big time. They weren't going to beat Illinois. They chanted about what their school is good at.
I think it's weak. You can do that at the auditorium.
No, if it's Duke, because Duke's a very
go
good...
do that at the science fair.
Yeah.
If Duke's a very good academic school. If Duke chanted that at Siena while they're losing 116, that would be weak.
No, go do it at the science fair.
There's no crowds at the science fair.
Well, then that's where you do it.
Maybe there's a debate. Maybe there's a debate league.
Yeah, go do it at the debate league.
And if you lose, you could still do that chant because odds are they're right.
Go do it there. It's not that. It's not.
I think it's weak.
You're a loser there.
I think it's weak of some of our fellow Philadelphians. I'm sure not everybody is from the Philadelphia area.
It's loser energy.
But if you're a Penn student, you're indoctrined, and that's your chant.
Like today, let's say Villanova was losing. Today, if Villanova finds themselves losing. So a lot of those now it'll be a lot of New York kids, it'll be mostly New York Mets fans. That'll be they
might be chanting "Let's go Mets" at the end.
They
of
may
the
be
game.
chanting "Let's go Mets." You just got to realize it at the end of the game as they move on.
But I think it's weak.
I think it's totally weak.
I have no issue with this at all.
Completely weak. So disappointed.
You know what that is? It's Cowboys fans saying,
yes.
Look at the rings we
have.
Hey,
look at the rings. And they weren't even allowed for it.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's absolutely not
It's
even
worse
close.
than Cowboy fans doing that because that has nothing to do with what it's about. It has nothing to do with that event.
I think it's a bad chant, dude.
It's got nothing to, there's nothing to do with that event.
Of course it doesn't because they were never going to beat Illinois. They're chanting about what they're good
say
at.
that? How many upsets did we just see? How many upsets did we just see?
All right,
of great programs.
What's worse? I'm sorry, I might hit home here on you, Johnny.
What's that?
What's worse, the Penn chant at the end of the game losing by 30 points, or when the Flyers are eliminated from playoff contention like 3 weeks before the season ends, but at the last game, they still get the standing ovation from the Flyers fans, thanking them for playing all season?
Oh, no, I don't have any problem with fans if they want to show appreciation for their players.
I hate that.
See, I don't. I don't absolutely do not.
I hate the end of the year standing ovation that fans do when your team.
Oh, I do not at all.
Oh, I hate it.
Really?
I always have.
Well, no. I'm telling you.
I'm surprised in you that you like it.
I do not. No, I do. I absolutely do not.
That's surprise. Are you surprised, Connor?
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, I do not.
That might be the biggest news of the day. That you're okay with that.
No, I do not. I have no problem with that. Like if it's I have no problem if after. All
right. What if the Sixers?
Let's say Phillies lose to the Dodgers, Phillies lose to whatever, lose the series, and play well, lose a game 5 or whatever, and at the final out, as the players are coming in, they gave them a cheer. I would have no problem.
Well, that's playoffs. I'm talking about like you finished the season under 500. I'm not applauding you for showing up.
Oh, I have no problem. I think fan appreciation days are great.
I don't. I love it. Do Phillies fans do it? I don't remember.
Yeah, the Phillies still do fan appreciation.
No, but I'm saying is, did they used to applaud? The Flyers go back on the ice.
Every team does fan appreciation day.
Yeah, but do the fans applaud when the game's over?
Yes. And they get.
I wouldn't do that.
I absolutely.
I'm surprised. That is one of the most surprising things you've ever said.
Absolutely would.
That you are pro applauding a team that doesn't make the playoffs on the final day of the season.
Yeah, I'd be fine with it because there's like this Flyers team. I would absolutely applaud.
All right, this Flyers team a little bit different. I'm talking about like 5.
No, but I'm saying is there's a Flyers team that did make the playoffs. I would absolutely applaud it. Now I might choose. Now look, if I don't like the product. that year,
Yeah.
I might choose to not stick around.
Sure.
If I know it's like I may choose to not stick around, so I'm not going to be a hypocrite to you and lie. I might choose and say 4 minutes to go in the game and go, oh, they're losing 4-1. I'm not staying around to give this team an ovation, so I may not do that.
The 2021-22 season when the Flyers went 25-46, they got a standing ovation at the last home game, and I was disgusted.
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't sound good.
I don't like
Right.
that.
Like
do whatever you want to do.
Like the team in 23 in the spring of 23, the last Chuck Fletcher edition Flyers team, they walked off the ice 61-point team. That's pathetic.
But they were the 5th most improved team in the league.
I would have
Remember that Chuck Fletcher quote?
I would have cut out of the last game and been like, no. But then the very next year, the first year of Danny Briere, they get to 75. And then the second year, they get to 87. This year, they're at 78. I would think they're going to eclipse.
This year's a little bit different.
I would think they're going to eclipse the 87 of last year. That's 3 years of progression. Yeah, I absolutely would give the team.
Connor, your team surprised in this, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm actually shocked.
What did I surprise you with earlier? I surprised you with something that you were surprised at. But another one. I just.
But this is the most surprising.
That is. Yeah, I would. No,
yeah,
but as I said to you, though,
I'm surprised.
But I said to you, though, I may not stick around. Sure. So I may decide, these people aren't getting my.
All right.
I'm not sticking tonight.
All right. Well, coming up next, we'll announce today's winner, the spot and knockout. Also, you mentioned Daryl Morey and the fireable offense.
Yes.
Of the Jared McCain trade. It looks bad a lot of times when Jared McCain goes out there and plays. But could you imagine being this person? It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
From the city that demands.
At least most of the time. Now let's listen to more Kincade and Salciunas before I change my mind.
All right, Connor, I got to ask you, are you in?
Sure. For what?
What? There are two bands that are mocked more than others.
Nickelback is one of them. Creed?
Yes,
is the
those
other?
are the two bands that come to my mind. And Nickelback, this is how you remind me of what I really am. That band.
Yeah, I don't think we needed all that. But yes, I'm familiar with them.
Look at this photograph.
That's almost like Bruce Springsteen.
Everything sounds the same.
One more and your mic's getting cut.
Yeah, seriously.
610.
No.
I could do the show with the Nickelback voice.
You don't need that.
I tried to cut
Would you trade AJ Brown? Like that's every song.
I'd listen to that.
They have a new album.
Oh,
I did not know they're still making music. It just popped up. Nickelback, The Bones for the Crows, out now on all platforms.
Why wouldn't they, though?
Well, I know. I'm not saying they shouldn't.
I'm saying
I just didn't know that they made new music. So, Connor, you said in before I even told you what it was.
I'll listen to it.
Doesn't Springsteen still make me music?
I don't know.
I think he does.
All I'm going to tell you is the songs that I just sang are what they will all sound like.
There you go.
So you have to report back for us, okay?
Okay, I'll let you know.
I mean, there are a million performers you could say that about.
Yeah.
I mean, Springsteen songs.
Yeah, I'm not a big Bruce guy.
Well, I mean, like, no, but I admire his work.
No, I give him credit. Yeah, of course.
But 80% of his stuff sounds alike.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just you find a niche, you fill it, and you do a good job at it. Passion, baby.
You fill it. 9 o'clock
Yeah,
hour.
exactly. It's like
dumpster in the bag.
It's like the dumpster in a bag.
Some may say that's what Nickelback songs belong in.
Yes, I would say so. I would say so.
So let us know. Let us know how it sounds.
That's
Connor.
a good cross promotion. There.
Damn right, man. All right. So the Daryl Morey trade, I get it with Jared McCain. Like it looks bad every day, right? Like every day
it looks horrible.
Every day that he goes out there
They're being mocked.
and does something, it looks bad. But imagine being Nico Harrison, who was the general manager, former general manager of the Dallas Mavericks. I'm going to tell you what Luka Doncic has done since March 3rd, Johnny. March 3rd, Pelicans, 27, 10, and 7. I'll go rebounds and assists. March 5th against the Nuggets, 27, 11, and 7. March 6th against the Pacers, 44, 9, and 5. Then the Knicks, 35, 8, and 4. Then against the T-Wolves, 31, 11, and 11, triple-double. Bulls, 51, 10, and 9. Nuggets, 30, 11, and 13. Rockets, back-to-back, 36, 6, 4, 49, and 10. And then last night against the Miami Heat, 60 points and 7 rebounds.
You know this is driving LeBron nuts.
I don't think so. He's done. It's Luka's team.
Yeah, why would it make LeBron?
I don't think it
You
drives.
think he's pleased? You think he's totally fine being the?
I saw LeBron James die for a
You
basketball.
think he's totally fine being the?
Yeah, dude, he's 70 years old.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, no, I don't. I don't know how that is what your take. My takeaway is imagine being Nico Harrison. I would never show my face publicly.
No, he shouldn't.
Like you can't.
Terrible.
That will go down as one of the worst trades in sports.
Don't you believe that? Don't you believe it's league orchestrated?
I think he had to agree to it.
Yeah, I think he had to agree to it. I think he had to. I think it was league orchestrated, and I think they did that.
I think the number 1 overall pick was 100%.
Yes.
Like
They-
dirty work.
This is what you're going to do. This is what we're going to do for you, and you're going to get. This is what you're going to get in return.
And the fact that if that is all true and he agreed to it, he can't work in the league ever again. And even if that is not true, and it's just a tinfoil cap theory, you can't, like, that guy stinks.
Oh, he's terrible.
He traded away one of the best players in the NBA for a guy that's clinically hurt all the time in Anthony Davis. He got hurt in his first game.
Did you say clinically hurt?
Yes.
He
got hurt in his very first game, and got hurt 6 other times since that trade.
It's all he does is get hurt.
It's unbelievable how you want to talk about a trade that we'll never forget. Philadelphia, sure, but that's league wide. 60 points last night. And of course, Bam Adebayo said it's hard to get 80.
He's incredible. Like he's truly incredible.
Oh, God. All right, Connor. Who's our winner today for our spot and knockout? We were doing the voice memos. Best voice memo was who?
Chris from Lancaster won it, who pretended to be Billy Coe. That's our guy.
Can you play it so the people can hear it?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me load that up here. Right. And here's our winner for the voice memos.
Good morning, Philadelphia. It's Billy Coe. That's right. Billy Coe in the morning show. I'm taking over. Philly fans have gotten soft because of these hot takes we got to listen to. I can't stand it anymore. We used to be respected. We used to throw snowballs at Santa. We used to stay in the 700 level red. Now we're giving standing ovations to underperforming players. This is ridiculous.
Good job, Billy Coe.
Now, is Billy Coe, do we know yet? Is he participating? The real Billy Coe?
I'd imagine.
I think so.
I thought he was emceeing. That's what I heard.
I think he's participating.
Whatever he wants to do.
I was listening to Unfiltered a couple weeks ago, and he said he was emceeing the event. And I was like, whoa.
Well,
why are you trying to get out of it, Billy Coe?
I think he is.
Because remember, a lot of people have called out, the collusion that took place 2 years ago.
Well, it was collusion. It was totally collusion.
When his wife missed on purpose. Every time he missed, and man, is she a great shooter.
She was great.
So every time he made it, she made it. She didn't miss, then layup. No, it's just interesting. Per the knockout sheet. Oh,
there you go.
Thanks, Sean Rodman. Do we have a knockout sheet on our show sheet?
Hit the knockout sheet.
Apparently, Bill Colarulo, according to the show sheet, is the MC.
Really? That's great.
I think he's hiding.
Or he's setting us up.
I guess I was replaced. I didn't even realize. That's good memos around.
Well, no,
here.
we have been doing two.
Yeah, I guess so. I didn't even.
You and Ty used to.
I haven't even gotten a memo on this. So who knows? Who knows?
You and Ty used to do the emceeing.
Yes.
So I would imagine it's just going to be a you and Bill combo. Right?
I didn't get any memo on it. So Bill's gotten a memo. I didn't.
Yeah, I don't have anything about Bill doing emceeing.
Yeah, I didn't get any of them memos.
Maybe Bill added that to the memo.
Maybe Bill just decided.
I think Bill wants to run away and not do knockout.
Could be.
I'm calling him out for it.
By the way, congratulations to our listener, Stephanie.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned this the other day.
Stephanie, who listens every day, was on her Price is Right episode, aired on St. Patty's Day.
Nice.
She got to play Golden Road, one of their biggest games.
I'm more of a Rainbow Road guy.
She won $80,000 in prizes, including a $71,000 Audi.
God bless you. That's awesome.
So, Stephanie, congratulations. And by the way, she also had to keep the secret of what she won all the way through till the day of the airing. So, congratulations to Stephanie. We appreciate you listening.
Well, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Asbury Park, by the way, Stephanie.
How about that?
Thanks, that person. So that's good.
By the way, we didn't get into this today, but I know social media was buzzing yesterday.
What was that?
Harry the K's.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I'm disgusted by it. I got to tell you, and I love the Phillies. They do a great job, but there's something
you and I were talking.
Juju. It's bad juju.
You and I were talking during the break earlier in the show. I imagine they try to do something because remember the Clemente story last year at Pittsburgh? They covered
on the pole.
They covered his retired jersey with a Surfside, and nothing against Surfside. It was the Pirates Stadium. They were the ones that did it.
I mean, Surfside Clemente.
And they got crushed for it to the point where all of a sudden, out of the blue, Clemente's jersey number was back up there again, as it should be.
Well,
yeah, dude.
The fact is that now you sold Harry the K's off to make more money.
Yeah.
And by the way, there's barely any signage space available for you to sell anymore.
Right. And don't give me, he already has a statue.
That's ridiculous.
You got to do something.
That's ridiculous.
That's the voice of Phillies baseball for a long time. You're right. It's bad juju, man. Don't mess with that.
I'm telling you, if anything bad goes on, there's going to be a curse.
All right, Middays with Marks. Next, they're at Parks in Ben Salem. You'll be there, too. What time are you getting there?
I'll probably be there around 11:30.
All right, we'll get there at 10. Stay till 11:30 and later. Hang out with John, Sean, John, Ray. Everybody have a great rest of the day. Great weekend. Talk to you Monday.
Now,